Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Space Engineers. My name's Steve Woody, and I'm going to be talking you through this new player experience. If you've never played this game before, think of it kind of like a cross between Lego and Minecraft and space and engineering. And if you like any of those, well, you're going to love this game. It is about 10 years old, so if you've been living like me under a space rock for the last 10 years and you've not heard of it, you might just be getting started by jumping into it. There's a lot of incredible content creators online over the last 10 years that have been building content for this game, but there's also been a lot of updates from the developers. And so some of the older guides may not be relevant, or you may end up struggling with the UI or some of the things that have changed or evolved over time, which is why I wanted to do this guide for you to help you to kind of get you started, because there is a bit of a learning curve here. But with that being said, we're going to jump straight in and we're going to aim to get up to space and explore the great beyond and build some fun stuff and probably blow ourselves up along the way. So, all right, let's go ahead and click on New Game. First of all, you can see there's a sandbox. There's also some scenarios. Some of these are about 30 minutes long where you can experience different game loops and different things. So these are quite cool to go into as little standalone campaigns. Some PvP scenarios, some of the original content that you can go through, and also some community content. There's a huge, incredible community of modders and content creators, so definitely worth checking that out as well. But to get started, for your first playthrough, I recommend going to Sandbox. Now, there's different variations and different sandboxes. You could go for an empty world where there's literally nothing and you have to start from the beginning, or you can go for what is the most popular, which is the star system. So this is a basic star system with some planets for you to explore. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on Customize for the New Game Sandbox Star System. And if you go for the Quick Start option, it will just drop you into one of these scenarios. Now in here, we're going to click on Survival, Offline. You can go public up to 8 players, but we're just going to go offline for now. And we're not going to use any mods, so totally vanilla, and we're not going to change any of the advanced settings. So this is how, if you get the game, this is how you're going to get it. You can change the name of your star system. I'll call this Noobtopia. But you can call it whatever you want. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and press start. So that's all you need to do to get into the game. And that is the way I recommend getting started. And it's how pretty much everybody starts. From here, you get to choose your planet. Now, for your first run through, I just recommend choosing Earth, keeping it very simple. But you could start on Mars. You could start on the moon. On an alien planet, or you could just start in space in either a pod or just literally your spacesuit. We're going to go for an Earth-like drop pod though. So just click on that and click respawn, and you will start to drop into Earth. If I press V, V is going to allow me to look from a third person's perspective. I can use my mouse to look around, and all I'm going to do at the moment is just kind of get an idea as I'm dropping down where I am. Where am I dropping? What sort of an area is this? Now, you might land on a tree, you might land upside down, you might land on the side of a mountain and roll down it. It varies. It really does vary. I've even landed and my ship's blown up before as I've landed. So, yeah, well, it looks like we're going for a tree today. Okay, good. Interesting. Right next to the tree. Okay. Now, if for any reason you land somewhere and you don't like where you've landed, just press F5. And you can do a quick load. But because we haven't saved the game yet, the quick load will take you back to the main menu. As soon as you save the game, then when you quick load, you'll always go back to that last save point. But for now, because we don't have one, we can simply just choose to drop again. So if we don't like it, we just respawn somewhere else. Now, I'm actually dropping down on Mars now. I don't want to do that. So again, I can just come out of that and I can choose. But you can go to different planets. Now, you can only do that from that first menu. Once you've dropped and when you save the game, you lose that ability to swap location. So we're going to choose Earth. Wherever we drop, this is where we drop. Right, we're gonna deal with it. So, okay, let's have a look. So we're gonna press V. There's some water over there. We can see some water in the distance. That's really good. So being near water helps, and being near flat land also really helps. So this actually isn't a bad location for us. This is a really good start. So just hope that we land the right way up. You don't want too many trees because flying into trees can kill you. You want some water ideally. Not important, but helpful. And some ore. And I'll talk about finding ore later. But they're the things that you're really going to want to be near when you start. Again, not too important. But there we go. We're down. We landed. So, pretty good. So, once you've found a location you're happy with, and I do recommend finding a good location to start, don't suffer for no reason. Press escape and click save. That's it. You've now saved this location. This is where it is. Now, if I press F5, I'm not going to go back to that menu again. I can't get back there now. I'm here. And so just bear that in mind. Right, I'm going to press F to get out and just a little walk around here. Press V to go back into first person mode. And yeah, so here we are. Beautiful, it's sunny, somewhere in America, I imagine. Looks like I'm in the middle of a farmer's field, but there's no other people here. It's just me. We can see the stars over there. We might head up there in the future, but for now, let's get started. This is an engineering game, so you need to start engineering stuff. It's not really a survival game, but you do need to survive as well. And so let's just get you used to the basics. Before we talk about the ship, let's talk about the UI. All right, so if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see it says J. If I press the V key, use my mouse wheel to move around with the Alt key, and I use my middle mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out, and I press J, I will lift up my visor. It's okay, I'm on Earth. It's okay, but if I have that down, I'm going to use up more energy, and also if I go into space, you just really want to make sure that's down when you're in space. X is my jetpack. So if I press X, I have a jetpack. I can press space to go up and C to go down. And just bear in mind, if you go up too far and then press X, you're going to fall and hurt yourself. So the next one is O. That is our broadcasting. And then we have the final one, which is L. And L is our lights. So we can it's a bit light at the moment, but at night you'll be able to see. We can turn our lights on or off. Okay. Underneath that on the left-hand side, you can see we've got our health, our O2, our energy, suit energy, and our H2. So oxygen, hydrogen, we've got health and energy. We've got our speed. So we're currently moving at 5 meters per second. If we use our jetpack and move, you'll see we'll move a lot quicker. We can move up to 100 meters a second. That also means if we hit a tree at 100 meters a second, yeah, well, we'll figure that out. I'm sure that's going to happen. All right, so now our hydrogen's down to 65%. So it does go down quite quickly. The toolbar on the bottom, we've got a welder. A welder is what we use to repair and to build things. That is on hotkey number 1. A grinder we use to destroy things, and a drill we use to dig holes and to mine resources. That's pretty much it at the moment in terms of tools. Just ignore everything else on the hotbar. The only other thing to mention is the gravity. Sorry, let me just take off a little bit here. And you can use Q and E to roll. So if I wanted to, I could kind of put myself upside down. Just make sure you don't press X because you'll fall. But if I do that, what you'll see is on the bottom right-hand corner, or towards the bottom right, you can see where you are in regards to the planet and the surface. There's planet gravity is 1, so you can see that. Atmospheric gravity is 0, so that's fine. So we know that if we're in the sky, we're going to fall towards the planet, and that's just something you'll need to consider later. Okay, so next thing to consider, if I press the I key, I open up my inventory, and you'll be able to see my inventory here. I have my grinder, my hand drill, and my welder. My mass is currently 30 grams. Don't judge me. And the volume here is 53 liters out of 1,200, and I got 10,000 space credits. So when we play poker later, I can take that off all the pirates. Now, I'm only joking. We're going to start here being very conservative because we don't have a lot. All right, so that's us. That's the UI, and that's everything you need to know about the basics. So let me just explain this ship. Before we go into too much detail, this game I mentioned is like Minecraft. It's made of blocks. This is a small block, this is a medium block, and this is a large block. You can see the difference in size. Small, medium, and large. Everything in this game is built in blocks. So when you look at your ship, all of this cosmetic detailing around the edge, these armor blocks, they're small blocks. You can see from the size of them. If I was to press 4 and then press 4 again, there you go. You can see I can even snap to add more to these if I wanted to. And I can continue to build this out even bigger and better if I wanted to. But this is basically a ship that is made up of 4 medium blocks. The first one is kind of the cockpit area, which is hollowed out. There's a block on the side here. There's a block on the back here. And then there's a block on the side here. So it's 4 blocks, if you imagine that. And then all of the detailing is the smaller blocks around the edge. All right, with that being said, if I walk up to my seat, it becomes yellow when I'm close to it. I can press I to interact with that seat. Now you'll see I've got my inventory and the seat inventory. I can left click and drag across, or I can double click and I'll move the pistol, the ammo, and this data pad. But I'm not going to do that because I don't need them right now. There's no threat at the start of this game, so there's no need to weigh myself down unnecessarily. So we're going to come out of that menu by pressing I again. If I press F, I can actually sit in the seat. So I'm actually sitting in it now instead. So there we go. All right, so that's the cockpit. Moving around to the side here, you'll see that this yellow access port is how you access the blocks. Now, there's two sizes for access. There's small and large. That's it. So 3 sizes of blocks, small, medium, and large. 2 sizes for access ports, small and large. This is a large port. Okay, so it's yellow, and you can interact with it by pressing I. The bit on the middle is just a light. There's a light on the on here. So we're going to ignore that light. In fact, I could take my grinder out if I wanted to, and I could actually just grind that light down, making sure I don't get the port behind it. But there we go. I can actually remove that. So there we go. So here's the port. Okay? So if I press I, you'll actually notice that I got 2 construction components from that light. So they're in my inventory. And I've now got the inventory of the O2H2 generator. So this generator allows us to take an oxygen bottle or a hydrogen bottle, some ice, and we can turn that ice into hydrogen or oxygen in the generator. Now I'm going to take the hydrogen bottle because that is what is used as a backup for my jetpack. I don't need the oxygen because we're on Earth. So I can come out of this menu. And now if you look at my oxygen, it's at 42%. Well, if I was to take off and go straight up, have a little look around and see what's near me, you'll see that that is going down. My hydrogen is going down. If that got to 0, well, that would hurt. I would fall. But if you notice on the bottom left, it's just replenished itself. And that is because it's used some of that hydrogen bottle to be able to refill that. And if I look around, I get a bit of an idea. I might have to go a bit higher. I know there was some water. I saw it. There's some little white patches over there. You might just be able to see them where my cursor is. It's a bit difficult, but that's going to be some ore, and we'll go over there in a little while to look at that. There's not really that much else around here, to be honest. We're in a pretty... all right, well... Oh, look, there's a little bit of ore here as well. You can kind of just see these patches. In fact, if I go towards them at 110 meters a second, making sure I don't dive bomb into the floor, can you see these patches? It's kind of like speckled grey patches. Or this represents ore. Under the ground here, there's going to be something. I don't know what it is at the moment because my ore detector is over 1 kilometer away. I have an ore detector on my pod, but it only detects up to 50 meters, and that's much farther away. So we'll deal with that later when we get there, but for now, let's just come back. And again, we can fly around because flying around, as you see, it's you can get pretty quick, but it's a much better way to travel. But it uses up a lot of hydrogen. So if I look now, I'm at 78%. So I can come back to this, open it up, and I can drag this bottle across. And now you'll see that ice is down to 289, and this is full again. So that's how the generator works. All right, moving across to the other side, this is a battery. It also has a light on it, but there's other lights as well. There's 4 lights. This represents 100% charge. As you can see at the moment, the first light is out. That means the battery is depleting. That's a concern. We need to find a way to generate power to this battery before it runs out, because once it runs out, we won't be able to use the generator anymore. We won't be able to do anything. So the last block here is the survival kit. And if I open up this, you'll see it has 2 tracks. Well, the reason for this is because the first track is where you'll process your raw ore. Any ore that you get, any raw materials, you'll put them into here. And like a 3D printer, you can print these components, like this one that we got here. So you can print these out. I can't put components in the top track, and you can't put ore into the bottom track. So this is ore, this is components. So a bit like input, output, if you like, for your 3D printer. Now, what's interesting about this is the survival kit. If I click on this helmet, it's only going to show me the item I'm interacting with. I cannot grab my pistol from here because I'm not interacting with it. But if I click on this block, it will open up all of the blocks, and I can see my survival kit, my generator, the parachute hatch, the the passenger seat where my gun is, and a small cargo container which is behind the seat. But if I try and grab the gun from my seat, I can't. And that is because I am not interacting with the seat. And the seat is not connected to the survival kit. So there has to be a connection, a physical connection between the items if you want to drag things through. Otherwise, you have to actually go to them. With that being said, there is a connection between the survival kit and the generator. Now, you might think, well, how is that possible? Because I can't drag this bottle. But you'll notice I can drag the ice. Well, the reason I can do that is because I mentioned there are two types of connectors. There is a small and a large connector. A small connector, rule of thumb, any ore, which ice is like an ore, any ore can go through a small connector, but large items cannot. You need a large connector, which is like what I'm looking at the front of this survival kit. So that's why the bottle can't go through, but the ice can. All right, so let me show you what that looks like. If we look on the inside here, you can kind of just see, I'll just hover about a little bit. These two tubes here with the green lights. Green light means it's active. So this is going from the generator through this tube, out the back. And that is what we drag the ice through. So hopefully that makes sense, because if you understand that concept of the blocks and how they connect, you really understand this game. And then it's just down to your creativity. So now we need to start building. Well, the best way we can do that is, first of all, we need some resources. So I'm just going to take out my grinder, and this terminal here, it's a bit hard to see. So I'm going to take away just a couple, just redecorating just a little bit, making sure I don't go behind it. Okay, because this block has a terminal on it. Now, if I was to press and hold F, you'll see my health in the bottom left and my energy is going up. But also, my hydrogen and oxygen is going up. The only reason the oxygen and the hydrogen went up is because this is connected to this. If that connection was destroyed and I used that terminal and it wasn't connected to the generator, only my health and energy would go up, not my O2 and H2. So again, important that you understand how this all works and how it all connects. All right, so with that being said, now what I'm going to do is press the G key. By pressing G, I'm going to open up the toolbar. So let's just start by removing everything we don't need on the toolbar and having a look at this screen. It's very simple. It looks overwhelming, but it's very simple. These are all the building blocks within the game. So starting with a light armor block, you've got different versions. So this is a square. You've also got a slope, a triangle, an inverted triangle. Some of these are 2x1x1, different, lots and lots of different sizes and shapes. So you can really get creative with your customizations. Anything that's grayed out is going to be one of two things. Either it's a downloadable content, a DLC, which means you need to pay to download it. And don't worry, it's not a pay to win. It's just cosmetic. So you don't have to. If you want to support the developers, go ahead, buy all the expansion packs. I'm treating this as a vanilla install with no DLC. So you can just ignore those. The other items are in the progression tab. Now, some people like to turn this off completely, but it's part of the game, so you're going to experience it. So it may as well talk you through it. I cannot build an interior light until I've built a basic assembler. That means that if I was to start to grind down this light, as an example, I would get 100% of the materials back from this light. This is true for everything except batteries. Batteries, it says some components will be removed. You can see power cells. So if I was to grind this down, I would lose those power cells. It's very important you understand this. Now, if I try and rebuild this light, okay, this interior light, it says unknown technology. You have to research it first. What that basically means is that there's some stuff that's locked. Now, what's interesting, we're going to take this landing gear as an example. The reason for that is if I go back to the progression tab by pressing G and scrolling down, you'll see here it says landing gear. Now, I cannot build a seat or anything else under this until I have first built a landing gear. Well, here's a trick. If you go to your landing gear and I start to grind it, if you look on the right-hand side, it's made up of a steel plate, 5 construction components, a motor, and another steel plate. Well, as I grind this down, I start to take off from the top down elements. If I press I, I've now got that steel plate. Okay, and I can 100% recycle this. If I come down below that function line, this is now not functioning. This is now... It doesn't exist. It's a foundation, but it's not built yet, so I can't use it. I would need to take my welder out. Now, as long as I've got the components, I can build this. So I left click, and it will go back up above that functional line, which then considers that I've built it. And now it says by building a landing gear, you've unlocked new blocks. Now, I actually don't need this landing gear, so I can actually just destroy it. I can take it off completely. And if I press G, and I scroll down on the progression tab, you'll notice now that all of these items have now been unlocked. I can do seats and a lot of other things. So there are different things. There's a H2 generator we need to build. There's a solar panel. There's a basic assembly. These are all things that we're going to need to build. And at the moment, it's simply just that landing pad is important. The generator here, so just break this down so it's not functional and then build it back up again. Again, that's done the same thing. If I get onto the top here, top of the ship, there's also, you'll notice here, this is going to be a parachute hatch. You can kind of break that down if we need to, rebuild it. There's all sorts of things that we can do here, but again, we don't need to get carried away. We can leave everything else pretty much as it is. Now, this pod, we can destroy this entire pod. But again, we need the battery because we need to be able to print stuff. So at the moment, we're not going to waste our time with that. But what we can do is we can just take a couple of... Just a couple. Nothing too bad. Is it really just decoration? Well, they're not just decoration. They actually protect the core components as well. You don't want to fly a ship with a battery exposed and then crash and land and destroy the battery. So if you start bashing things, you want to be careful. So it's cosmetic partly, and it's also a bit of protection. But we're just going to take these off the top here. Now, the reason we're doing this... And there's some really good videos that show this. If we wanted to build a ship that we could fly, we really need to think about our 6 degrees. So it's not just about going up and down. We've got these 4 thrusters on the side there to lift it up. And gravity will bring it down. But what if we want to go left, right, forward and backwards? We actually need to build 4 more thrusters on this. So that's just an example of something we would need to do. This, at the moment, can only go up and down. Now, I mentioned we can take some stuff off. So I'm going to take off this landing gear. Oh, just be careful it doesn't drop on your head when you do it. There's actually another landing gear around this side. We'll take this one off as well. And there's one more here. Now, we don't need these landing gears. We landed. So we can take those off, and now we have those components. So we can use them for anything we need. And that's pretty much all I'm going to take off of this at this time, except for just a couple here. And the couple just on top here. If you're wondering why I've done that, it's so that I can easily get into this survival kit here. I've got this connector here. I can even take this one out. I don't need to. But because this is holding on the booster, the atmospheric thruster. But that's it. So I can go and heal myself. And we've pretty much covered the basics. So right now, you should have an understanding of the core concept of this game. Just at a very basic level. Alright, the next thing that we need to do, before we get into anything like building or anything like that, there's an unknown signal. Now you can see this is 2 kilometers away, and it says T minus 10 minutes. That is how long until this signal disappears. Now we can use our jetpack, just make sure that we've got our hydrogen bottle, which we have, so that we can get there and get back. And we can actually go over to this. Just make sure we don't hit any trees, because that would be painful. It's only a couple of kilometers, so it won't take us long to get there. And if we die, we'll simply just respawn, so it's not too bad. But this is just a good way for you to get used to flying, just to have a little look around. And what we're doing is... Oh, wow, we're going all the way down the valley here, apparently. We're going to look for this. This will be a little a drop ship. So pretty much what we landed in. It'll be another version of that. We press L to turn our lights on. And as we kind of come down, this is what we're looking at. So this here is something that's just dropped from space It's actually kind of upside down at the moment. We can even move it so it's upright. Okay, it's got a little button on it. So it's a little button. If we press this, so we press F, it says special content. Try your luck to get a new special item. We did not find any special item. Sometimes you can find cosmetics, sometimes you can find improved tools, but ultimately what's more important is if you take your grinder out, we've now got a button panel. That comes with 2 interior plates, construction components, a computer. So we can take that. In fact, there's a parachute hatch as well. We can take that. And all of this along the top here, all of these are steel plates. And here is a small cargo container. So if we open this, inside, look at that, an enhanced hand drill. So already we've managed to pick up an enhanced hand drill, and we picked up some space credits. So that's the purpose of coming to this. Now we can break this down. We can take the cargo container. There's also a small battery. And we're pretty much just taking all of these little... We don't have to be perfect with this, but you get the idea. Now, if you want to be perfect with it, you can. I'm not going to. We're going to head back now. So just by coming and finding that, we're able to get a better tool, and we're also able to pick up some more resources. And on the way back, we've just found a rock. So here you can see there's a rock here. If I come down to this rock, there's going to be something on this rock. Now, I don't know what it is. We need to get our drill out and have a look, but there's going to be something in this rock. There we go, magnesium. So this is a rock full of magnesium, and you can see that because it's the blue, which is a different color. So we could actually just pick up some magnesium here. If I was to use my drill on this, you'll see it'll actually start to fall down. There it is. So these are stones. You'll have to chase them. They will roll, and they'll keep rolling until they hit a point where they'll stop. So you have to chase them and then press F to catch them. But if I press my inventory now, I've just picked up some magnesium ore and some stone. Now, you don't need to find rocks like this. You can actually just mine the ground and get stone. So let's go back to our pod. It's night. Careful we don't hit any trees, because that would be painful. We don't want to do that. So you just take your time, go slow, get used to it. But we're back now. Okay. So now we're back. We're at our O2 generator, so we're going to open it up. We've only got 69%, so we're going to put that across here. All right. Now we need to make sure we keep an eye on our ice, so we don't run out of ice. And the other thing I'm going to do is just move back to local, so it's only showing us the thing we can interact with. And we're going to look at our survival kit. So now what we can do is we can start to move this stuff across. So, for example, we can move this stone into here. Now, nothing's going to happen at this stage because we've moved the stone, but we haven't told it to do anything. The reason for that is we need to click on the production tab. Under the production tab, we can click on ingots, and here we have our ingots. If I left click, I will now take my stone. So 100 stone has just made 1.4 kilograms of gravel, some iron ingots, some nickel ingots, and some silicon wafers. So that is what is produced from stone. Now, we obviously need to go and mine some more stone. And again, you can just you can point your drill down at the floor. Now, this is a voxel-based game, which means it's made up of blocks. So you'll start to destroy the terrain, and you can't build that back up again at the moment. So just bear in mind, if you dig a hole, you're going to have a hole. But that's going to be how we'll create ingots. So we can go ahead and do 1. Hold down Control and left-click, we can do 10. Hold down Shift and left-click, we can do 100. Hold down Control and Shift and left-click, we can do 1,000. So now we've queued up 1,000 of these. Now, all we need is some stone to process, and we will start to create these raw materials. Then we can come across to our components, and we can start to print the things that we need. So if we need an interior plate, we can click on that. And if we need a steel plate, we can click on that. And it will start to produce them. It will always produce from left to right until it can't anymore, and then it will move along. All right, so that's pretty much the basics there. I'm going to click on this button so I can move things one at a time. Or I can just press this button and move everything at once. And it says everything except for the items that can't be moved. So this can't go in here, magnesium. It's a 3D printer, but it only prints stone. But these are my raw components. These are my my raw materials, my components. And you can see I'm at 300 out of 1,000 liters. So we need to be careful for space. So let's go back round to our seat. And I'm going to drop off a few things. The magnesium, I'll put that in there. The space credits that we picked up. The small steel tube and the scrap metal. We don't need those on us at the moment, so I'm going to get rid of them. Also, I'm going to drop on the floor my hand drill. I don't need my hand drill anymore. I can just drop it on the floor. It's just there. Now, I can't access my hand drill right now because I need to press G. And I need to go to my blocks, my character tools. And now I've got an enhanced hand drill. I can drop that in its place. So now I've got an upgraded hand drill. And this is important because the basic tools are going to be very slow. And they're not going to work very well. But you'll need to bear that in mind. Now, I'm actually going to pick this back up. And the reason I'm going to do that is because if you're starting a game, maybe you didn't find that enhanced drill. Which means you maybe don't have it yet. So I'm not going to use it either. Not that it makes a difference. It really doesn't matter. But at the moment, I'm just going to assume that maybe you don't have it. And so I'm not going to have it either. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go to the back of this ship. And we're here at our survival terminal. Or a survival kit. And we're just going to pick a direction. It really doesn't matter which direction. We're just going to, in this instance, we're going to turn around, let's just say 90 degrees. So just to here. And from here, what we're going to do is take one step forward. Just so we're a little bit away. Press C to crouch. Look down about 45 to 50 degrees. And we're going to press right click on the drill. And what this is going to do is it's going to start to drill a hole. Once we've done 2 or 3 spaces, we're going to move forward whilst looking down. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to drill a hole under the ground. I hope it will anyway. If you didn't go deep enough, then what you're going to start to see is you start to build a kind of valley or rut like this. So make sure that you go a few spaces down first. Just so you can start to make a tunnel. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go down. And what we're going to do, if you look back up here, is we're starting to make this tunnel now. I'm actually not going to be able to get out of this tunnel, so let's just smooth this off with the left mouse button. Make it a little bit smoother so that we can run out of it. Because the idea here is I want to be able to run out of this. And I want to be able to run down into this tunnel. And then I want to be able to run out again. Nice and easy. Okay, that's the kind of goal here. So we can just kind of smooth out the side here. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. So now we've got this kind of entranceway up to here. And we've got this tunnel here. Now, if you notice, this top layer of this tunnel is grass. And then underneath it is a different type of stone. Now, if you look at the grass, I was able to get 35 or 49, sometimes 20. This one I only picked up 4. So I'm not picking up much stone here. Pick all of this up. But now what I'm going to do, if you drill down far enough, only till it changes to a different type of stone. Now, this pattern here that you can see, this is actually a different type of stone. So I'm down far enough now. Now, if I start farming this, you'll start to see this is quite small. But some of this, 234, 235, we're getting a lot more for this. Now, depending on where you are, because of where we are, this is kind of like, it looks like clay. But some areas where you are, you might end up seeing actual rocks. So just bear in mind that the terrain will change. You'll go from grass to dirt. There's actually no dirt here. You don't get to see any dirt. But it will go from, well, kind of, yeah, this is the dirt here, this part. So it will go from this to dirt to clay. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to drill down. Now, I'm already there. You might not get there that easily. So you want to get down far enough so you're away from the top layer. And that way, you're going to start to get more. So if I do this now, all I'm going to do is kind of from that hatch, that starting area, I'm going to start to build like a little cave. And I'm just going to go around in a circle. I'm a bit lost now. Okay, so that's the way I came in. So coming through this way, and then as we drop down into here, we're going to just kind of, we're going to be in here a little while. And what we're trying to do at the moment is we're just trying to drill this out. So we've got this nice, easy way in and this big pile of stones. Now we can come up, we can open this, and we can drag our stones across. And it is going to automatically start the production queue. So that's what we need to do at the start. Now, your tunnel could be quite deep. Maybe it's not, like I was very fortunate there. It really does, it varies. But make sure that you go down deep enough and don't go vertical because then you'll fall and hurt yourself. You need to make sure that it's easy enough to get in and out of. I just want to smooth off this top bit here. There we go. So it's just nice and easy to get in and out of. If you've got an OCD like me, you kind of spend quite a bit of time perfecting this stuff, but yeah. As you can see, you can quite easily just destroy the environment. So just be a little bit careful. But there we go. So now we're done. Now, if I press I could drag this, or I could press this button to move it all across. That's another way to do it. So I can press that button. I can come back down here. I can pick up some more stones. I can come back up. Now, I could press that button, but if you look at it, it says there is a shortcut for the conveyor port interaction. Alt and middle mouse button. This will deposit all ore, ingots, and components. Now, I can't do it from inside that screen, but I can do it from here. So if I hold down Alt and press middle mouse button, all possible components were deposited. I can come down here, I can pick all of this up. Inventory full. I can run back up, hold down Alt, press middle mouse button, and I've just deposited everything. Do it again. This is a much more efficient way of being able to farm resources. As you can see. Now, there is a capacity limit here, but it's already making some iron ingots, some nickel ingots, and all of the things that I'm going to need for construction material. So this is great. So this is the kind of first step to being able to understand hotkeys. If you get stuck, press F1. Here's your basic controls, and here's your advanced controls. So if you get stuck, press F1, and just have a quick look at what you can do. There's also some controllers as well, tutorials and other things to look at, but basic controls is what you need to worry about. So now that we've got that working and it's processing, let's start to build a base. So we press G, we go across to all blocks, we grab our light armor block, and we're going to put it down. Now, the thing to know about building blocks like this, and we're just going to build it, we can literally just build it here. It doesn't have to be too far. When we're building, again, we can have small box, big box, cardboard fish, all that kind of stuff. We can choose the orientation. So if we wanted to, we could drop a block, but we need steel plates to do that. So let's go into here, pick up our steel plates, and now we've got enough steel plates. You might need to make 10 of these, but you know how to do that now. So once you've got some blocks, there we go. We're going to make sure that we've got square blocks. And again, you can use the keys in the top right. So you can use delete, page up, page down, home, end, insert to kind of rotate this to where you want it to be. And then you can drop it. And it will drop at an angle. And if I drop one on top, the physics will be applied. Now, I mentioned before, this is a grid. Okay? With this grid, this is a separate grid. And this is also a separate grid. In order for a grid to connect, you have to lock it into place. And the way that you do that is you make sure that you've got your outline where you can place, and it snaps to another one. You know if it snaps because you can see two outlines. The green outline, which is what you're building, and the red outline, which is what you're snapping to. So that's very important to understand the difference. Now, whilst you're looking to rotate things in free mode, if I press B, I will snap to the gravity of the planet, and now it will always be upright. The only other thing to know about building is that there are two types of building. There is mobile and static. So mobile is dropped above the planet, whereas static is built within the planet. So this is a mobile, and this is static. This makes a big difference because you can do a lot more with static than you can with mobile. For example, you can't build a wind turbine on a mobile structure. It has to be a station or a static structure. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to build a static structure of these blocks. We're going to just align this to the gravity. Okay. And then we can just like move these around and put them where we want them. So There we go. We're gravity aligned, and we're going to put this just here. That looks good. So we're going to go 1, and then we'll go out again. So we'll go for 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go 5 for now. That should be more than enough. And then we want to go back as well. So we'll do 2 lines of these. So we'll just go 1, 2. Again, all connected. Perfect. So that should be enough for us. That's a little foundation. If I press 4 again and I use my mouse wheel to zoom, I can make a ramp. Just need to orientate that. So make sure it's once it's snapped, it will just rotate 90 degrees. So you can kind of get used to moving stuff around and where it goes. But what I'm basically doing here is just making a little ramp. So now, not only do I have a platform, but I've got a way to get up onto that platform. So I've got my starting grid, my hole, and my platform. Very nice. Now, you only need 1 steel block to start this. Anything that you want to build, you just need the starting ingredients. So if I press G and I type in wind turbine, because that's what I want to build next, I need power. You can see what it's required. Like, what does it take to make this? In the bottom right, it tells you 10 interior plates, 8 motors, 20 construction components, 24 girders, 2 computers, and then another 30 interior plates. In that order from bottom to top. Now, I only need 1 interior plate on me to be able to place it, and I don't have that. So if I go across to my inventory here, I can drag across my interior plates. And if I want to drag a certain amount of them, I just drag it with right click instead of left click. And it will say, how many do I want? I want 1. There's 1. All right, so at the moment, that's all I need. Now, I also need 10 of these steel plates. I'll explain why in a minute. So for a wind turbine, in order for it to be as effective as possible, it needs to be 20 meters clear in every direction. So for that, what we're going to do, 20 meters is about 8 medium blocks on average. We're going to build up from the base 10 blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to press X to activate our jetpack, and we're going to go up 10. So 1, 2, but they're all connected. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. All right, so we're now 10 high. Now I can press 6 to open up my wind turbine, and you can see I can place it on top. Make sure it snaps. You see the red block underneath? That means it's connecting to this. Very important you do that. All right, so now I need to build this. So on the bottom right, it tells me, well, what do I need to build it? I need 10 interior plates, 8 motors, etc., etc. So I don't have all of those at the moment. So let's come back down. We're just going to go to the survival pod on the side here just to regenerate, get some more power. And we're going to farm some stone. We're going to process that stone into ingots, and then we're going to print the items that we need. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do. Now, the way that we're going to do this, because before we go up there, we want to make sure we've got all of our parts. Now, what's really cool about this is you can try and remember all of those parts. Oh, I need this and I need that, and you know, there's a big shopping list. Or if you've got your welder, go up to the item that you want to build and right-click. Components added to the build planner. So now I actually don't need to go back up there again. I can press G, and if I hover in the build planner in the bottom here, it will tell me all of the things I need. They're the things that I need to finish that particular build. Okay? Now, I could sit there, and this is important to understand. I can sit there and I can say, okay, I'm going to go into production now. What is it that I need to build? It was how many motors and how many steel plates? You know, I could get confused. Now, I know that I needed a girder. Okay, so I make a girder. And I know I need a motor, so I make a motor. And depending on where it is, left to right is how it works until it can't anymore. The reason it can't do this is because there's no more stone. So because of that, it will move on to the next item. But instead of doing that manually, which can be a bit confusing and it can take a bit of time, I can quite simply, because I did the right click up there, I've got this in my build planner. That means that because it's in my build planner, if I hold down left shift and then press the middle mouse button, left shift and middle mouse button, I will transfer all of the required components for that build into the production. So now everything I need is being built. And what I want it to do is I want it to build everything else, but I'm going to get it to do this part last. Doesn't matter. Whatever order. Say I wanted it to do steel girders first, I can do that. So I can choose whatever order I want it to build in, but it's going to run out of stone in a minute. I'm going to run out of this material. So whilst that's producing, I can run back down here, and just to be efficient with my time, I can start to farm a little bit more stone. So this is all about efficiency at the moment, and we're trying to be as efficient as we possibly can. Now, you can hold down the F key whilst you're doing this, and it will just make it a bit better, because you'll do it... you'll be picking up as well as grinding at the same time. So that's done. We're going to head back out. Remember, we can press Alt and middle mouse wheel. Now that will continue as well. So here's the thing now. If I press I and go to production... This will make this first. I want to make that last. So I want to make as many components as possible. And when I've run out of the core ingots, then it will ignore all of these because it can no longer make them. And it will continue to make this from the stone that it's got. So I want it to kind of to build in that order. And that's how that's going to work. So the production is going to work through. I'm just going to go down here because there's nothing else I can do at the moment. And I'm just going to start because I'm going to need a lot of stone. Now, this is a bit of a slow process. I mean, it's better than if we were doing it from dirt. So doing it from rock is much better than dirt, but it's still slow. It's not the best process, and I really want to get out of doing this as soon as I possibly can. So what I'm going to do, just going to keep going for a minute. Kind of making a little cave down here. Okay, now there's another unknown signal. We can go to that if we want to, so we can get that material. It's not a bad idea. If I press I on this and look at the production, it's finished. It's done all of the parts that it needed to do, so they're done now. So now it's moved on to the stone. So I can move all of the stone over. Now, instead of picking up those components individually, I can just press the middle mouse wheel. By pressing, if you look at my inventory, I have nothing in my inventory right now. If I press middle mouse wheel, I have just transferred all components that I need for that build. So right-clicking the mouse on an item with the welder loads it into the build planner. Left shift and middle mouse button over a printer will then queue up the job. And then middle mouse button on its own will remove it. Left alt and middle mouse button deposits all of the ore and materials. So they're the key keybinds that you really need to know. You need to learn them because you're going to use them all the time. All right, so now we're going to press X. We're going to go up here, and we're going to build this wind turbine. So we've got all of the material that we need now. And on the left, you can see that's going up to the functional line. We don't need to make it perfect, just to functional. It's at 78%. Now, anything on top of that, which is more interior plates, is simply going to increase that to give it a bit more durability. But right now, that's fine. So this entire grid now here, all of this grid is now powered. It has power on it. And so now we've got power. We just need to consider, well, what do we need to build? Like, what do we do now? Now we've got power. Because at the moment, we're not powering the battery. Well, that's because it's not connected. And in order to connect it, we need to be able to move it. So we need to put thrusters on this to be able to move it, and a connector. And so this needs a bit of remodeling. Or we can just destroy it and build a new ship. Totally up to you. But for now, let's build a base, because that's the most important thing. So, pressing G. What we're going to do is remove the wind turbine now, because we don't need it. We're going to remove the light armor block. We don't need it. And on the left-hand side, we're going to look down for production blocks. Now, here, there are 4 main production blocks. There is a basic assembler, so we'll grab that. There is a basic refinery, so we're going to grab that. So we've got now basic assembler, basic refinery. There is the survival kit and the O2H2 generator. Okay, they're the 4 main components that we're going to need. So let's just have a quick look at these. If I press number 4, this is, I'll just rotate it so you can see it. This is the basic assembler. It's a 3D printer. Basically, this is a 3D printer. There's only one access port. So if you look around it, all of the other sides of this are cosmetic. except this. The access port is the only thing that matters. And there is a small and a large access port. This one is large. And because there's only one access port, it makes a lot of sense to back this up towards the tower that we built. Because we can't actually build anything behind it. It says we need a steel plate, so we're just going to grab those steel plates. Remember, we need the first item that we need to build it with. All right, so this is the basic assembler. So we're going to put that down. So now we need to build this. Okay, so again, exactly like we did before, we're going to look at what it is that we need. Now, we do have some steel plates on us, so we'll just use what we've got so far. Right, and now we don't really have much else on us, so let's just have a check. We've got a few components here, actually. So what we're going to do is we'll walk over to this. We're going to right-click on this. All right, it's in the build planner. Now we're going to come over to this, a middle mouse button, and it's going to draw out everything that we can use. Right, but we're still missing a few things. So if I press G, I delete this by right-clicking it from the build planner, so it's not there anymore. Now, if I build planner it again, it's going to say what we're missing. Just steel plates. All we're missing is steel plates. Okay? So if I come across to here and I hold down left shift and middle mouse, it's going to start to make those steel plates. Whilst it's doing that, I'm just going to pop down here and pick up some more stone. And I'm going to drill a bit more because I want to be productive and efficient with my time. Now remember, if I press G, I can come across to my character tools, and I've actually got... Oh, no, it's not on me, is it? So I need to go back up to the seat. If I go into my seat, if you are fortunate enough to pick up that tool, then you can drag it across. We're going to get rid of our hand drill. We're just going to drop it on the floor. We've now got this upgraded hand drill. So if I press G... wait a second. Did I... Oh, I didn't drag it across. My bad. Sorry. Press G. I can now grab this, and I've got this instead. So now I've got like an upgraded tool, which means I'm going to be able to drill a lot faster. So now it's going to give me a lot more, a lot quicker, which is very nice. Making us a lot more efficient. And again, if you find any more, there's no pods at the moment, but if you find another pod, you can go to it and just do what you need. So now I'm going to drop that off. We'll leave that there. Okay, now everything's working. So now what I need to do is press the middle mouse button to pick up all of the items that I need. Come back over to here and I can continue building. It's got enough steel plates now. Got the construction components. Perfect. So just coming over and checking this, looking at the production. I don't need any more steel plates, so I'll leave them at the end. The rest of this stuff we can put at the bottom because, you know, we'll work on it last. And now it's going to do all of the other components that we need first. Because you don't want it to keep making steel plates if we don't need any more of them. You want it to make sure that it's putting into production in order the items that you need. All right, so that's going to take a little bit of time. We'll put some more stone in here, so that will produce afterwards when it can. We'll go down here. We'll just grab another load of stone. Just fill this up.
Inventory full.
Okay, we're going to dump this into here. So again, this is full. All right. And then we're going to continue to withdraw and build. So now, we just need some computers. It's the only thing we're missing. So if I go back to my production, we're just making these computers now. This is all we miss. So if I press this, I'm missing 56 computers. And you can see I'm missing 56 computers there. So nothing else I can do at the moment. That's still printing. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pick up this stone.
Inventory full.
And at the moment, this is all I can do. So this is full of stone already. So can't do anything else there. So now we just need to wait. I'm still waiting for the printer, and this is slow. It takes a long time to print these. So whilst this is printing, I'm just going to talk you through the control panel. So the control panel here, this shows us everything on the grid that we're currently on. Now, the grid that we're currently on is, if I look at info, it's called the Respawn Planet Pod. So this is, I'm just going to rename this, and I'm going to call it Survival Drop Pod. Okay, because that's what it is. Okay. So it's made up of 183 blocks, 21 non-armor blocks, 14 conveyors, 5 thrusters, 2 lights, etc, etc. This is all the information around this. If I come across to the control panel, the grid, which is what it's made of, there are blocks. These are all the blocks that are on the grid. There's an antenna, there's a battery, and the battery, as you can see here, the battery will be fully depleted in 5 hours. That is because we have our survival kit working. If I toggle the survival kit off and turn it off, so it's not working anymore, if I come back to the battery, I've got 11 days now. 11 days until the battery runs out. So that survival kit, now it's working, is really draining that power. Same with the antenna. Current input of the antenna is 400 watts. If I boost that all the way up to 50,000 meters in radius, that battery's going to be dead in 2 hours. So again, you really need to consider how much you've got in terms of energy, what you need. You can toggle these blocks on or off. I can also decide whether to show them in this terminal or not. If I turn it off, it's no longer there. It doesn't exist anymore. Don't worry, because if you can't find it, you just click this button to show all the hidden blocks. So these are all of the blocks. So we've got a beacon. The beacon is to find us. We can rename things. We've got the O2 generator that we know of. So we've got the generator. Whether we want to turn it on or off or not, you know, what we want to do. The ore detector, which is normally set to 25 meters. You want to boost that all the way up to 50 meters, by the way. Parachute hatch, doesn't matter. Small cargo container. Basic information. If I look at all of them, so here, there's 4 atmospheric thrusters. These are what we've got on the ship, the 4 corners. I can select all of these and create a group. And I'm going to call this pod, because that's what this is. It's a pod. And I'm going to call this V thrust. That's vertical thrust. So now I've created a group for vertical thrust on my pod, which means if I was to change any of the features on the group, it would affect all of these at once. And now the battery life is up to 2 days because we're not doing any more printing at the moment. So, yeah, you kind of understand what we're doing. So, all right, let's go over to here, see what else we can build. We still need some more computers. So the problem at the moment is in production, we've run out of computers. Oh, that's strange. Oh, they're there. I didn't pick them up. That's why. And now, there we go. So we now built our basic assembler. That means that we can now take all of the ingredients that we have from here. All of this. We can take all of this, except gravel, which is absolutely worthless. We literally don't need or want, or we just don't use gravel. But we can take that and bring it all the way across to here. Hold down left alt, middle mouse. And we'll be able to deposit that. So it's deposited all of these items into the basic assembler. Except for the stone. It won't take the stone because the stone lives in here. And that's because we can't refine in an assembler. We can only assemble. Which brings me on to my next building that we need. The refinery. So if we look at the refinery, it's a 2-story building. If I move it around just so you can get an idea for it. It's got an access hatch at the front and at the back. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. So it is all cosmetic except for just the front and the back. So we're going to place it here where it needs to go. And again, I'm not going to be able to put it down because I need a steel plate. So I'll be able to, I don't have a steel plate. So let's go into production and let's make 1 steel plate. Now I don't have enough material to be able to make that at the moment. So I need to come across to here. I need to pull out all of this material from here, leaving the stone. And I need to come and put all of that in here. So now we've got our steel plate. Because all of this is here. We just need some iron ingots. Which actually I moved across, but for some... There we go. So now I've got my steel plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down. Just need to rotate it to the right way. And I'm going to put it down just like this. So here's the basic refinery. Because this had access at the front and the back, it means that the back access will connect to this access. That means I will be able to access this assembler from here once this is built. But I do need to build it first. That's the biggest problem. So I'm going to remove everything from the build planner. And I'm quite simply going to right click, components added to build planner. Now I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to hold down shift and middle mouse. All components were successfully put to production. This is everything that I need. And I'm going to put these in order like this. This is everything I need to build that refinery. Now, the only problem with this at the moment, the only thing it's missing is I need more stone. So I need to go back into my hole and I need to pick up all of this stone. So that's what we're going to currently do.
Inventory full.
Then we're going to jump out, if I can find my way out, because I'm a little bit disorientated. Drop that off in there. Go back down here. Same thing again. And this is just a rinse and repeat at the moment. Now, obviously, this is going to take ages using a hand drill, and we don't really want to do this. So the first thing we want to do is how can we farm resources quicker? Well, the answer is with a ship. So we want to build a ship as soon as possible. Now we've got two choices. We can either build a new ship or we can convert our existing one. And there's no right or wrong answer.
Inventory full.
You just decide what you want to do. But for now,
Energy low.
there we go. Our energy is low, so let's just recharge. This is why it's so important to use this. But knowing that we've only got a couple of hours of using this, we really want to make the most of it. Perfect. Okay, so now we can open this up. We can take all of this material that's been made and we can bring it over here and dump it into here. And now this is going to do all of our processing because it's quicker. And this is going to do all of our refining because it's quicker. So now this stone is in there and we're going to go back down and grab some more stone. And we're just going to keep doing this. It won't take too long.
Inventory full.
Perfect.
Inventory full.
Okay, so the inventory is nice and full. Let's head back out again. We've grabbed out what we can grab out of there. All right, it says one component can't be deposited. So let's just grab what we can out of here. There we go. And we come across to here, deposit that. All right, and have a look at our production bar. So now we're just making the steel plates. So we've got everything except for the steel plates, of which we need 100. So we need a lot of steel plates to be able to get started here. And that's cool. We've got some more stone here. We've got lots of stone, so we can come and deposit that. So now all the stone has been deposited. We can just keep grabbing this stuff. Now, we could make steel plates in here as well. We could double up on our production, but there's no real point. We're just going to keep putting everything we need in here. And again, we need 100 of these. We've got 34 at the moment, so... Yep, we've run out. And that's okay. We'll go and grab some more stone.
Inventory full.
Excellent. All right, so drop that off. Grab that stuff. Bring it over here. Drop it into there. Okay, now that's going to continue. So we're missing iron ingots at the moment. So that's what we need. It's just more iron ingots, which we've got there. Actually, we do have them. I don't know why it's... Okay. It's saying that we're missing iron ingots, but we do have them, so that's a bit strange. So let me just try that again. Okay. That is an iron ingot. 6.83 kilograms. Is that not enough? Do we need more? Okay, so we just need more. Alright, let's go back across. Oh, I just needed more. Okay, I thought I would have carried on, but I've run out. Alright, let's just keep going. Got a bit confused with the numbers there. It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
Inventory full.
So again, just not getting too lost. Just a lot of this at the moment. Now, the game developers, and this makes a lot of sense, they make this very painful on purpose. The reason they do that is so that when you no longer have to do it, you should appreciate it. Because it's a pain in the bum to do. So, we're just going to keep doing this. And coming over here, checking out this. Right, we're up to 50 so far of these. There is an unknown signal over there, so we've got a bit of time. Let's head over to this. We'll get our grinder out. Make sure we don't hit any trees. That's what we've got to be careful of. We've got to avoid any trees. So we'll go a little bit higher. And we're going to go over to this signal because we'll be able to grind down these plates on this, and that will be nice. Pretty much in the same location as the last one was. Down here. Alright, slowing it down just a little bit. Okay. This one's a different shape. This one's like a ball. Parachute on there. Button. Where's the button? Don't know where the button is, but we'll open the inventory. Oh, look at that. 31 steel plates. Some more credits and a power. Oh, okay. So some pretty cool stuff there. Take that off. Oh. Can't press the button. It's rolling. There we go. Press the button. Did we get anything? No, we did not find anything. But it's running away from us now. Okay. Stop, please. It's because it's a ball. We're just going to grind it up really quickly. We got the main stuff out that we needed, so that was all good. Get a battery. Get these steel plates. Alright, that'll do. So we're going to head back. So looking for our respawn pod, which is over here. Hopefully it'll be daytime soon so we can see what we're doing. Especially with these trees. I'm a bit worried about hitting these trees. Always make sure you go above the tree line. Okay, so we're about an hour in so far and we're doing really well. What we're going to do now is just get back here and finish off this refinery. Okay, so now we've landed. We're just going to make sure that we heal ourselves up. Back up to 100%. Also going to come around to here. Make sure that our bottle is at 100%. Just get into the habit of doing this. And then it's done. Going to come around to our seat here. We're going to take that scrap and put it in there with the rest of the stuff that we don't need. And the space credits, we'll add them together. We also don't need a power kit. So it says that we can consume that. We don't actually need to at the moment. So we'll leave that. We'll talk about it later. So that's everything that we're going to need right now. Okay, so with that being said, coming around to here. Opening up this. Taking out this material that we've got. We've chucked the stone in there. Oh. Okay, back across to here. Chuck across everything that we don't need. Alright, so now we've got pretty much everything that we need. So, all of these, we'll take this. We'll take this, these, and this. As well as the computers. Alright, have we got everything we need to build this? Yes, we have. We've got all of the ingredients. So now we're just going to keep building this. Again, we don't need the additional 20 steel plates, which is just the strengthen it at the end. We need to make it functional, which is up to about 80%. There we go. So now we have a basic refinery. That means that now, inside the refinery, we can put our stone. It also means that we can move everything across that we don't need. So we can deposit everything we don't need. And not only can we access our refinery, but also our basic assembler. So I can grab stuff out of the assembler, even though I'm not near it. And that's because it's going through the access port to here. All right, let's go and do a little bit more. We just need to grab. So what I'm going to do now is just grab everything out of this survival kit. Okay, because we don't actually need any of this anymore. So let me just grab all of this. And we're going to drop everything into here. Done. Then we're going to go and we're going to go down our little hole. We're going to farm a little bit more.
Inventory full.
All right, so that's full. That's good. Just open this up a little bit. All right, so we've got our little hole. We're down here. Perfect. Okay, right, let's jump out of our hole. But this time we're going to go this way. So we just need to smoothen this out a little bit so it's nice and easy for us because we're struggling to get in and out at the moment. There we go. Just a little bit. So we want to kind of make this as easy as possible for us. We'll drop all of that into there. Head back down. Pick up as much as we can carry. And this refiner is a lot bigger, which means we can drop a lot more in it. Before, we could only do one at a time, and then we had to wait. Now, we can just load this up with all of this stone. Nice and easy. And it will just keep taking all of that stone. Now, we don't get as much yield from the refiner. We actually get a better yield if we were to use the survival kit. But this is just easier. As you can see, if we look inside this panel here, look at this. So, 4,000. So, we can do a lot more with this stone. So, I can go and sit down here now. And I could spend a considerable amount of time in here just farming all of this stone. And we just do a couple of minutes of this because we want to get as much stone as we can. The idea is that once we finish this, we never have to do it again. All right, so there we go. We can see our way out. If you ever want to make the hole bigger, just right-click instead. You just make it a bit bigger. So now at least we can see how to get out when we're in here. All right, that should be enough. We have a lot of stone down there, so let's just move it all across. So again, we're going to drop it, come in here.
Inventory full.
And the idea now is just to get as much of this as we possibly can, load it all up.
Inventory full.
And then we can go, and now we've got a refinery, we can start to refine different materials. So we can go and find iron now. We can go and find nickel deposits. Now,
Inventory
we can go out
full.
and walk, but it's going to take a while. It'd be much better if we had a vehicle to do this with. So the next thing that we should look to do at this stage is simply make a vehicle.
Inventory full.
Before we can do that, there's a couple of things we need to finish off on this base. Now, the base is kind of almost done. We've got the core items that we needed, but there's still a few things that are missing. So we're just going to go ahead and quickly build those. The first is that survival pod. What happens if this battery dies? If the battery dies, we have no survival pod. So let's go ahead and build a survival pod. So we press 6. This is the survival pod. It's got 2 sides to it. So if I was to rotate it, there's cosmetic, access port, That's the control panel, another access port, nothing on the bottom or the top. So we're actually going to put that here. Now, it says we need a steel plate to do that. So we're just going to click in here. We're going to access both because we need to get to the assembler to get the steel plates out. And we're going to place that right here. Now, the reason we're not placing it on top of the basic refinery and continuing that train is we want to grab this assembler. This has a basic printer on it. If we access this, like if we put it here, we would have to access this to get to this. That means that we would use this first. We don't want to. So this is going to become a standalone item. We're going to leave it on its own so it's not connected to the rest of the stuff. Okay. That's now done. That's great. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to click on this. We're going to come over to here. And we're going to just grab the items we need. And whatever's missing, we're going to get it to produce it. So now it's going to be producing those items that we need. But it's telling us that we need, at the moment, 3 medical components. And we don't have those. We don't have 3 medical components. So if we don't have them, what do we do? How do we deal with these 3 medical components? Well, we can have a look at the assembler. And we can see what does it take to produce them. Because now we've got the basic assembler, we can produce better things. Bulletproof glass, power cells, a medical component. But a medical component needs silver, and we don't have any silver. So what we can do instead is come over to here, and remember we had this one? Well, we can simply just take it out. There we go. We've taken it out. It's gone. But you have to come over here and finish building it as quickly as possible, because if you die between there and here, you have no way of respawning. If this blows up, you have no way of respawning. If that stops, you have no way of respawning. So, you just need to be a little bit cautious that this base is our only point of respawn. But now we have our survival kit. This is exactly the same. It's identical to the one that was behind us. And we've just simply moved the components across. So, all good. So now we have this done. We can look at the final thing that we needed to build, and that was our O2 H2 generator. So we definitely wanted to build that. Now, at this stage, we don't really need to worry about it. I'm going to put down here, just to make life a little bit easier, I'm going to put down here another. So if I press G, go to all blocks, grab a block here. I can get rid of these 3 because I don't need them anymore. I'm just going to put down another block, just one there, and then this one's going to be a ramp, so I just need to... there we go. Okay, so we've come out 6 now instead. That's perfect. Okay, now what I can do is I can put down this item. Now, this one has 1, 2 of a side, but it also has one top and bottom. Top and bottom as well, which can be handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect that here. So just make sure it's connected up the right way. There we go. And so we don't need to worry about that too much, but if we come to this survival kit, we do want to have some ice in here, and we need to build this, and this needs 110 steel plates. I'm not really in a hurry to build this. 110 steel plates is a lot. There's a lot we'd have to farm to be able to get that. Also, another thing that we want to think about is cargo. We want to build a cargo container, so we've got some storage. Now, a cargo container is just a box that has access on all sides. So we can literally just stick that in the gap here, and that will happily just live there. Now, it does say we need an interior plate to build that. So we're just going to take that. We'll put this down here. And there's our cargo container. Now, in order to build this, we need 4 metal grids, and we don't have any metal grids at the moment. So, again, something that we want to build, it's just going to take a little bit of time to get there. We haven't quite got the stuff we need to build it. So, there's a few things that we need to do at this stage. We can still access into here, which is the basic refinery. There's a few more things that we want to build out, and it's going to take a little bit of time to do that. But what we can do in the meantime, whilst we're just waiting at this stage, is go back over to here and have a look at this ship. And we can look at what we can do now to this ship. Well, first thing we can do is we can actually take off a few of the things that we don't need. And we can look to do that in a minute. But for now, all of this stuff in the middle here, all of this crazy stuff that we've got going on, we don't actually need any of that. So we're going to gut this, and we're actually going to repurpose this, and we're going to turn it into a ship that we can fly. But We're going to do that in the next video. So for now, we've kind of done everything that we need to do at this stage. We have made a base. It has power. That power is able to run everything that it needs. It's absolutely fine. And if I come up to this base and come to a terminal and press K, I can see my control panel. If I look at my wind turbine, it is generating 424 kilowatts of power. It is only outputting at the moment 17 kilowatts of power. That means that the rest of this is being wasted. So what I can do is I can press G. I can type in battery. And I can drag a battery down here. And I want to build ourselves a battery. Now, I don't just want to put a battery anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a block on top here. I just put a standard block on top. And that is connected to this tower. Because this tower is connected all the way down here to this bottom grid, everything has power. But if this grid comes down to here and goes across here, it means I can delete this and it will still work. Because there is still enough power going through into the core area. And then I can put my battery that I want to build underneath here. And so that will now become my battery. Now I need steel plates, construction components, power cells, 80 of them, computers, and a lot of other stuff. So I need to build this battery. I need to build this small cargo container. And I need to build this O2H2 generator. That's going to take some time. Now, before I get carried away, because that's the main thing, is to build that base, I actually want to do something with this so that I can utilize this to farm more efficiently. I do not want to go down that hole any more than I absolutely need to. So, let's just start. We're going to finish this off in the next video, but for now, we're just going to take the front of this ship off. Now, the reason we're doing this is because there's already a battery on here, so we don't want to rebuild a battery. There's already an ore detector on here. Now, we could rip the ore detector down and put it back on the other ship. We could rip all this down and repurpose it, but we'd have to rebuild the battery. So we're going to reuse this battery. That's the whole purpose of what we're doing here, is to use this battery. Now, one of the things that I can do is I can actually strip all of this back if I want to, and just keep this battery and nothing else. That is an option that I have if I wanted to do that. But I do also right now want to keep this H2 generator because I don't have one. So they're the two things I really want to keep on this at the moment, which is why I'm going to strip the front and back and not the sides. All right, so just taking off the front of the ship. That's pretty much done. And this bit here as well. Excellent. Coming back to here. Remember, if I open up the seat, I can grab all of this stuff now out of here if I want to. Just double click all of this. That's all of those parts. And I can grind down this seat. Just take the seat out. Okay, now the seat's gone. What I want to build now is I actually want to build a cockpit. So in order to do that, I press G and I type in cockpit. And I can build myself a cockpit. So I need to press 4. 4 is going to build the cockpit. I need to choose where it's going to go. Actually going to go right there, but I won't be able to see if I put it there. So, I mean, that would work. I could do that, but kind of want to be able to see left and right, and I wouldn't be able to do that there. So let's just take out... I think for the sake of this, I can just take out this panel, put that one back, this panel, all the way around here, just so I can see a little bit better. Okay. Now this one is actually holding, you can kind of see here, is actually holding this in place. So there's one there. I don't think this one is. It looks like it could be. I'm not even going to risk it. It looks like it could be holding it in place, but the other one definitely is. So we're going to leave those two parts there. Just leave them as they are. All right, so we're going to put the cockpit in. All right, as you can see, the cockpit on the back has two small... These are the two small connectors. So we're going to turn that round. Okay, and we need to make sure that we're putting this cockpit where it needs to go. So this cockpit can fit in. We can fit it right up to the back here. That's absolutely fine. Because we're going to take that whole wall out. So that wall of stuff there that's in there is going to be removed. All right, so there we go. So that's where this is now going to live, here instead. Okay, and now that that cockpit is in there, we can actually come in the back here, and we should be able to delete all of this. What I'm going to do is press escape and save. That way, if we make a mistake, we can just press F5. So let's just jump into the back quickly. Might just need to remove some of this flooring here so I can get in. All right, this one can go as well. Now, sometimes you might want to keep some of this armor. It does protect the internal parts. It also makes it look better. As you're building, if you press P, you can paint stuff. So you've got the option to paint stuff if you want to. You can do that as well. But for now, I'm just going to keep this very clean and simple. Okay, so now I'm in here. So we don't need the parachute anymore. Let's get rid of the parachute. That can go. All right, that's gone. Oh, I got rid of the cockpit as well. That was a mistake. Let's put that cockpit back in because that's holding things together. Okay. That was a mistake. Let me just see if I can start to build that. There we go. We're going to start to build that cockpit. So we need another 4 displays for that cockpit. Okay, so let's come across to here. And let's just see if we can order up ourselves 4 displays to go to production. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, go to the inventory. We can grab those. They'll come in handy. And now we need another 9 computers. So let's just go and grab those while we're here. All right, we actually have 10 computers, so that's perfect. We've got everything we need here. Let's just put this in. There we go. So our cockpit is now built. Now, if we had 30 bulletproof glass, we could reinforce this. We really don't need to do that. So we have a new cockpit now. That can stay there. In fact, if we was to jump into this by pressing F, we actually have a ship. We have a ship. So we can actually... We can't park the ship. It's unable to park it, but it has power. We have a ship. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to jump out of this ship because we're not ready to fly it just yet. But it's there. What we need to do instead is we need to remove a lot of these inner components. So we don't need a beacon. The beacon can go. Okay, you can remove that. We don't need this conveyor tube anymore. That can go. This one can also go. This conveyor tube here. And this conveyor tube in the middle. We don't need this small conveyor here. That can go. There's actually a thruster underneath, which is a hydrogen thruster. We're going to break that down because we can use it. We'll take out this timer block. We don't need this timer block anymore. We'll take out this small cargo. We don't need that anymore. It actually dropped some stuff, but that's because we're full. Let's just finish it because I started to break that apart by mistake. Okay.
Inventory full.
Let's go across here. We're just going to drop off the stuff that we can. Okay, grab that stuff. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we've got rid of a lot of the stuff that we didn't kind of want at the moment. So we're in a better place. This is the O2 generator, so we're going to keep that. The O2 generator does have connector ports top and bottom. We're not going to use them. The cockpit also has ports. There's the battery and the stuff on the roof, which we're just going to kind of leave where it is for now. All right, so that's everything there. What we're now going to do is we're going to have to build a couple more things. So what do we need? First thing we need, press G. Let's get rid of everything that we don't need for now. We're going to need a converter. Now, we can't build a converter at the moment because we need to build first a cargo container. So we're going to take a medium cargo container and we're going to build this. Now, a medium cargo container has access port at the top and the bottom, small, and large on either side. So we want to make sure that we line up the large side, okay? So this is how we're going to do it, like this. Now, if we do this, you'll see that that is on the top and the bottom, okay? The top and the bottom. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we line this up so it fits in here. It doesn't matter that they're on the top and the bottom, but we're going to do it just like that for now, okay? And that way, if we do this, we'll see, if I put that in, that we can build it And we're going to need a few components for this. So we need 20 interior plates. And what we're going to do now to build this is we're going to left click to add it to the blueprint planner. We'll get rid of that. We don't need that. And we'll get rid of that. We don't need that. So we only need the medium cargo. We'll grab the bits that we can grab. So we're going to left shift and we're going to queue everything up for production. So this is going to tell us what we need to make. In fact, hold on. Let me just get rid of all of that. There we go. So now if we go to production, this is everything we need. And we don't have enough at the moment to do that. So we're going to go down and get some more stone. Hopefully not much more of doing this. Once that ship is built and it flies, we'll be able to use that. And that way we won't have to come down here anymore. Also, 8 minutes on that signal. It's not that far away. So we should probably go and pick that up as well. Because as we know, they can be quite good. So we'll just drop that off. And then away we go. We'll go and grab this. In a different direction this time, which is quite nice. Almost there. This one, I like this one. So this one flies away from you. It's designed to do this. It's designed to fly away from you, which is quite funny. And you'll understand why if we can actually catch it. It's very hard to catch, but... Alright. We're getting there. There we go. As you can see, bits flying all over the place. You could end up playing chase with this one for quite some time. Okay. I think we got it. We get that thruster off, we'll be alright. Right, let's get that thruster off. It's not going to move anymore. Okay. So the reason that was doing that is because this has a sensor on it. This is an antenna. With the antenna, it also has a sensor. Is there anything nice inside it? We did not find it. After all that, we didn't find anything. But this has a sensor inside it. Oh, we did get 23 interior panels and 10,000 credits. So the idea is that the sensor inside detects if anyone's nearby and it flies away. So again, just an example of something you can build here. So that button, we'll take that button out. There's also a light on top, so we'll take that off. Take all of these panels off because, you know, they can come in handy. And again, you can start to understand how things are built now. So if we have a look in here, there's the sensor. So sensors can be set up to activate the ship and to do things on the ship. So again, just a really cool thing to be able to play with. If we have a look. So the way that this is set up, it's going to be set up to detect enemy, and it's on. And so it's going to have custom actions and setup actions and things that it can do. So this is where you can really go deep into what things do and how they do it. So look, detect players is on. All right, and so you can do all of this stuff, and then you can decide what actions you want it to take. So if it detects anyone coming up to it, it can do certain things. It can connect to the thruster, and the thruster will tell it to, but obviously it hasn't got a thruster anymore. We've deleted it. So the battery, the sensor, the antenna creates this, as you can end up just chasing it around as you just saw. Very cool. First time that happened, I wondered. I thought it was a bug. It's not a bug. It's a feature. And we are going to take everything. Well, most stuff. I'm not really bothered about all of the panels, but I will take that sensor. And we'll take... We need hundreds of these, right? So we know we get one... Each of these is worth one to us, so... Okay, not worried about being perfect, but that's definitely enough to get us started. So off we go. To the base. And let's heal up, because, well, we need to do that. Excellent. So, healing up. Dumping everything we don't need into there. Got a few things on us that we can't get rid of. Those things at the moment. Well, we don't have this ship at the moment, do we? Because we got rid of the seat. But we do have a new cockpit here. We don't really want to use that at the moment. So, yeah, we've got a few things that we can't use right now. So what we're going to do is just drop them on the floor. Okay, so the gun, we're just going to drop it on the floor. We've got all these space credits, which don't take up that much to be full. The ammo will do that. This is a data pad. If we right-click on it, it's going to give us a station lost some of its clients due to some conflict. Do I want to create a GPS marker? We're going to say yes. So this is a UDCO station. So we're going to go ahead and create that. Now I can drop that on the floor. I no longer need it. And everything else can just kind of stay where it is for the moment. So to access your GPS coordinates, we'll click on GPS. Here we'll see our respawn pod. Our respawn pod, we actually don't need that anymore. So we could actually, if we wanted to, delete that. Because the other thing as well with the respawn pod is it's just a GPS marker. We haven't got a beacon anymore. We do have the antenna that we could use, but for now, that respawn pod, we can simply just delete that. So let's go to our GPS, go to this and delete. Instead, what we're going to do is come over to our base. This is our base. We're going to press I, go to GPS, new from current position. And we're going to call this base. Oh. Okay, we're going to try one more time. And we're going to make it a nice green color. We'll make it very vibrant so it stands out. Okay, and that's now done. So now we have our base location, which is right here. So we're never going to lose that wherever we are. So that's good. All right, so let's continue. What do we need here? We need those interior plates, right? So, okay. Let's grab out what we can. All components were successfully pulled out, which means that we can build this. There we go. So we now have this container. Now we've got a medium cargo container. We can go and create a converter. So a converter here, a conveyor converter. This is, I'll just show you it quickly. On one side, it has 3 small ports, and on the other side, it has a large port. So it's converting large to small. And then in the middle, all the way around, it has one as well. So the way to know that you've got this right is that this line here lines up with these 3. Okay? And that, as long as you can see that, you know that if that lines up, this is in the right place. Now, if we look on the back, let's see if I can get in here. Not really going to get, I can't get in there at the moment. So, okay, because I can't get in there, let me just grind this back down. I know I've just built it, but I needed to build it to get that converter. There's 2 small ports on the back here. So what I need to do is I actually need to put these small ports there on here. So again, as long as that line is going that way, then I know that those 2 small ports on the cockpit that you can just see here, they're going to connect up to this. Now I just need 1 small steel tube, which I do believe I have. So let's just grab this. 1 small steel tube. There we go. And that... Actually, no, I need... I still need 1 more small steel tube. So we're going to go to production. We're going to make 1 small steel tube. Perfect. And now that is built. Okay, and now we've got that big hatch at the back. So only ore can pass through this, but we need that, and then we need to build in this container. Now again, it doesn't matter how we build it in here as long as it's in. There we go. And so that way, if we build this now, let's just press G. Nothing in the build planner, that's good. That's what we need. So components required, middle mouse. All components were successfully withdrawn. There we go. So now that's built. So we have a cargo. The cargo is connected to the connector, which is connected to the cockpit. Great. We're almost there. So now pressing G, we want to get a drill because we want a drill bit on the end. A nice big drill. This is what a drill looks like. It's got 3 small connectors. If you see the big connector, just press the button again. Press 6. That is actually going to put a box on the front, but we're just going to use a small one right now because we want this on the cockpit. So that will go there. We'll just rotate it into shape. It says you need a steel plate to do this. So we don't have a steel plate. So let me just go back. Quickly grab ourselves. I'll grab a steel plate and some interior plates so we can finish off everything we need. It's only going to be one of those 2 to start with. No. There we go. So there we go. So now, this is a lot heavier on the front now. But this is going to be the drill that we need to connect. So we're going to go ahead and try and connect this as best we can. And it's going to tell us that we need some more bits. So pressing G. Nothing in the build planner. So we right click with the blowtorch. Come over to here. Middle mouse button. Right, there's a couple of things that we need to build that we haven't got enough of. So we're going to set them up to produce them. It's going to build everything we need. All right, there's just a few more parts that we need. A large steel tube, a motor, and a computer. Not much. Just a few parts. Just one large steel tube. Hopefully it's going to produce that. Go to production. Large steel tube. All right, so we need a large steel tube, but we've run out of material right now, so nothing we can do about that. Let's just build what we can. We need one large steel tube. So, okay. We're going to dump everything else and go back into our hole. We're very close. All right, we're nice and full. Hopefully that's going to be enough for us. So, okay, let's head out. We're going to dump all of this into here. We're going to go back down, pick up all of this, and hopefully, I'm hoping that's the last time. It's raining a bit at the moment, so we'll just we'll just deal with the weather. It's fine. Okay, drop all that off. Just get these last little few bits. Nice. Okay. All right. So now all items that we need have been delivered. So there we go. So there's our drill. And look at that. That is a huge drill. Compare that to that. Look at the difference. All right. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? We're going to get a lot of material. So now what's going to happen is we are going to drill. It's going to automatically collect through here, into here, through that connector into the cockpit, through the converter into this storage. There's one more thing we need. Actually, no, we don't. That's fine. We could just use that. That is more than enough for us to be able to go and get a load of resources. But we do need these thrusters. So we're going to press G and we're going to type in thrusters. And we want to make these atmospheric thrusters. So let's get rid of everything we don't need. We need these atmospheric thrusters. We also need what is called a gyro. So we need a gyroscope as well. That's important. We don't have one of those on here. They're the only two things we need right now. So going onto the roof, let's just jump up here. We need to stick our gyro somewhere. So first of all, there is that's the conveyor converter that we talked about. So the conveyor converter is there. We're not going to delete that. That's important. But we will, because we don't use it. We're just going to stick the gyro on top. Okay. We need a steel plate to be able to do that. So let's just go down here and grab a steel plate. Always good to have both a steel plate and interior plates on you. All right, let's stick that gyroscope down there. Perfect. We've also got our ore detector, so that's fine. That can stay there for now. We don't need to move that. And we've got our antenna. That can stay there as well. We don't really need to do anything with that at the moment. It can kind of... It's just doing its thing. It's not hurting anybody. It's okay. So we're just going to leave that there. What we could do, if we wanted to, is we could lay this down. So if we wanted to protect that, if we wanted to protect that a little bit, what we could do is we could take out this panel here and this panel here. Now we can take out the ore detector to actually remove it. And then we can go and type in ore detector because we're going to need this to find the ore that we're going to be looking for. So it's quite important. But what we can do is we can lay it down now. Doesn't matter what orientation, doesn't matter how it's set up, just matters that it's there. And now that can live there instead. We just lay it down. There we go. We can actually build it up to 100%. That's done. All right. Now we've got to build this up, which is our gyro. Now we're just going to look at what we're missing. It's a few parts. We're going to see if we can grab them. All parts were successfully withdrawn, so that's good. Oh. Now, that's built. Okay, we're going to rebuild that because we didn't want to destroy it. All right. And now what we're going to do is just build our thrusters. Now, these thrusters, you can see they've got a front and a back. The kind of dark side is the back. It will destroy or damage any components, so you must be careful when you're placing this. You must be careful. When you're placing it, you don't want it to get damaged. It's very important, all right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to remove this panel. I'm going to remove this panel. I'm going to remove this panel. And I'm going to remove this panel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the thrusters inside here. So one's going to go in here like so. One is going to go in that side, but I'm just going to rotate it around like so. One's going to go this way like this, and one is going to go this way, but like that. And what that is going to do is it's going to give us our forward, back, left, and right. Okay, now I can go ahead in the build planner, and I need to make 4 of these, so I can right-click, I can right-click, I can right-click, and I can right-click. 4 of them are now lined up. I can come across here, and I can say, I want you, if I hold down left shift and middle mouse wheel, I want you to build all 4 of these. And it's going to build them. It's going to build all the ingredients that I need now to finish off these thrusters. Which I can't really do anything until these thrusters are done now. So I need to get them to the functional level. Now, I need 4 metal grids. And I got those metal grids from the thruster that was at the bottom of this, that was underneath. So that's what we're repurposing. I'm just missing some tubes. There's a few things that I don't have enough of at the moment. So we're going to come back over to here and we're going to grab out some more parts. Still missing a few bits. Might need to go and get some more stone. Hopefully not. That's 2. All right, let's just go back down. I have a feeling we're going to need a little bit more stone. We're not quite there yet. We're very close.
Inventory full.
We'll just do this as well while we're here. Okay, right, let's go. So we're going to dump that, go down, grab a little bit more. We almost made it. We're actually still going to need quite a bit more, but I'm trying to make it hopeful for you that we can do this all within a couple of hours. So, okay. Grabbed out the bits that we can grab out. All right, let's see. That one's built. Can't build that one at the moment. What do we need? We need large steel tubes at the moment, so that's what we're missing. So let's go to here, and let's prioritize in the production the large tubes. Now, we don't need that because we've got that, we've got that, we've got that. In fact, I don't actually know what else we need. So let's just get rid of everything else we don't need. In fact, let's just get rid of all of that. Let's actually go and check and find out what it is that we need. So, motors. All right, so we just need the motors. Everything else is pretty much done right now. So we need 36 motors. Okay. So we come across to here. And we've got our large steel tubes now, I hope. 2 large... we need more iron for those. And we need motors as well. All right, so production, we're going to go 10, 20, 30. We'll do 40 motors. But we're going to need some more iron ingots for this one. So there's not really much we can do about that. We just need to make sure that we go and get some more stone. So stone is definitely the problem at the moment. It's the thing that's holding us back. So we're going to go and get some more stone. We're going to go and finish this job off. Let's just dump everything that we don't need. All right, we're going to need lots more stone.
Inventory full.
Also, I've just noticed there's another drop ship there. We'll go and grab that. It's actually not that far. It's just here. Oh dear. It's another one of these. All right, well. I'm actually pressing F as well, just to see if I can get onto that switch, but can't. Woof. Got some speed behind it, this one. Oh. I don't even think this has got a sensor on it. I think this is just a ball that's rolling down a hill. Huh. Wow, we are really struggling with this one. That has got some speed. Do you know what? That's fine. We're not even going to bother. We're not going to waste our time. It's fine. All right, let's see how we're going. What do we need? What do we have? Okay, so we still need a considerable amount of iron ingots to be able to finish these off. These large steel tubes are quite a challenge for us. So, all right, we have to get them. There's not really much else we can do about that. It currently just is what it is. So. All right, a little bit more farming. Just appreciate this while you're doing it, because you won't be doing it for much longer.
Energy critical.
Okay, right.
Inventory
Let's
full.
go. We need to go and drop this off. Sort our suit out. And then pop down and just pick the rest of that stuff up. Okay, see, our hydrogen hasn't been topped up there because it's not connected to a working
Inventory
generator at the moment.
full.
Okay.
Inventory full.
Hopefully, this should give us enough.
Inventory full.
Let's have a look. All right, we've done one steel tube. We don't quite have enough to do the other one. We've got the motors as well that we're going to need, so we are getting there. Not quite. Oh, there's the other steel tube. Okay, so we've got both the steel tubes that we need. So those were the big ones. We've got some motors as well. So let's go and have a look on the roof. Okay, so here we go. That's another one done. Final one. Just needs a few more motors, which... let's see if we can grab those. How much do we need? Oh, we're almost done now. There's only a few more, so... I think we're good. Just want to get on the top here. This one's the last one to do. We need one more motor. We were very, very close. One more motor. And there it is. Okay. There we go. So now we have the gyroscope. We have these four going in every direction. We have this on the back for ore. We can probably just shave this bit off, to be honest. Shave that bit off. You know, just to keep it all nice and clean and tidy. In fact, we can probably shave that one off. We've got those two on the side there. We seem to be missing the ones on this side, so let's just take that off. And this. All right, just so it looks uniformed. It looks the same. That's looking good there. Yep, we're happy with that. It's got a little bit of a protective cover there, so that's fine. So it's not going to just land and crash if we have a problem. So, yep. Looking pretty good, to be honest with you. I think everything that we need is here. I am going to just get rid of these because we don't need these. And I'd rather be able to see. Oh, We'll keep that one. But these ones, we don't need these ones. Okay, and then we're just going to open up this side as well. Oh. Okay, so we did need that. Oh, yes, of course, because you can't hold it on the cockpit, so... Okay. Okay, so yeah, okay, I do need those two on there. Good to know. Good to know. Easy to fix. Easy to fix. So we can press 8 to put this down. I'm going to press P. We can get that nice blue up that we were using, so we're getting the same blue. So, all right, so we are gonna hold that one there and that one there, just because, you know. It is actually more important than I believed, or than I thought. So, okay. My bad. Make sure it's pointing the right way. Business end has to come forward. There we go. Fix this back in place. All right. Now let's jump in, shall we? All right, so. That is pretty much everything built. Everything that we need. So we can move, as you can see here, if I show you this. Backwards, forwards, up and down. But before we can go anywhere, we need to press K. Right. Now we have these 4 atmospheric thrusters. We also have another 4 here. But these are all turned off. So what we need to do is we need to show them and turn them on. So now we've got forward, left, right, and backwards. Okay. Which is all here. And we've got these as well. So these are our 8 thrusters that we've got. All right. We're not going to show them because we don't need to. But we did need to turn these on because they were turned off. And because they were turned off, we weren't able to use them. So now if we press space, we can take off. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a ship. We have a working ship. This is progress. We can go forward, backwards, left, right, up and down. This works. So we just have to be a little bit careful when we come down and land. I mean, it's not too much of a problem, but just bear that in mind. And also, so there we go. All right, we have a ship. Let's go ahead and turn this off. We've only got 59 minutes left. 59 minutes of power. So we need to be very careful because we need to now, the most important thing we need to now is we need to build this battery. Before we do anything else, we need to build this battery. And this battery requires quite a lot of stuff. So this is the next thing for us to build, okay? There's nothing in the build planner, so we can click on this, right-click on this. All right, and then if we come across to here and press I, look at the production, there's nothing in the production. All right, so we're going to hold down shift and middle click. Now, everything we need to finish this battery is in production now. Everything we need, okay? So what we need to do is make sure that we take out all of the bits that we have and start building this. Steel plates, construction components, but the power cells are really going to be the thing that we need the most of. So let's get those power cells at the front there. All right, because they're the things that are going to cause us the most trouble. We can take out these and build these. So now we're up to power cells. We need 80 power cells. That is going to require quite a lot of material. So this is what we're going to do at this stage. We've got this ship. This ship works, okay? It's got everything we need on it, but it's not ideal. What I mean by that is it's a bit clunky. It's a bit messy. We can see how much it weighs. Right, it weighs, if you look in the bottom right, it tells you it's 12,792 kilograms. Right, if I turn the power on, I've got 60 minutes. Now, if I'm thrusting, I've got like 24 minutes. It goes up and it goes down. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to turn this ship around, okay? I'm going to turn this absolute beast around, and I am going to point it down at the ground here. Oh, yes. Now what I'm going to do is exactly what we were doing before. Now, what I've got here is a bit of a problem because this ship is so heavy that if I was to just do that, it would just start to go down, and I can't stop it. What that means is that I am so heavy at the moment that my thruster that I've got is going to fight against gravity to stop me. See how I'm going down? I can't really do much about that. So these single thrusters are not really that good. Like, it'll do enough to start, but it's not really that good. I'm going to struggle with this. And so this ship's going to get very heavy very quickly, which means I'm going to need more thrusters. And that's just because there's just so much armored coring on this. Makes it a bit difficult. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn the engine off. I'm going to jump out. And as much as I really want all of this padding on the side, I'm actually going to remove it. Because all it's doing is it's weighing me down. Remember how much I weighed? So this would be lovely to have. It looks nice. I get it. But it just weighs too much. And I'm already struggling without cargo. Imagine if I had cargo on board. I'd be struggling even more. All right, so that's all off that side. That's all off that side. We'll just get off this side here. Now, we've still got the O2 and the H2 as well. Now, the good news is we don't actually need that anymore. We can take this off. The reason we can take this off is that we can't build the other one yet. We don't need any hydrogen right now. We've got our ship. So we've got our ship. We don't need this. So we could actually take this off. If we did that, it's going to free up a lot of space. So we could take this whole side off if we wanted to, and that's going to free up a hell of a lot of space for us. So what we're going to do, we're going to press save this, and then we're going to see, well, what happens? What happens if we take out this of here, and we just destroy this? Now, the ship is all still together. That's all good. But we've got this, like, empty side panel now and nothing in here. So, just good to know. Good to know. We're just going to leave that as it is for now. It's not ideal, but it's definitely lighter. So now let's go and dump everything that we've got on us. We're going to go and put that in here, because we don't want to carry it with us, all right? We've also got a few other things here that we don't need. We've got this ice. So, again, we've got a few things here that we're not using. So what we're going to do is we're just going to dump that ice on the floor for now. We don't need this hand drill. We've got 20k credits. We'll just dump that for now. We don't need the oxygen bottle. We'll dump that for now. We don't need these power kits. We'll dump that for now. Basically, everything we don't need, we're just going to dump on the floor for now. All right. So, this is a much, much lighter ship. Let's check it out again now, shall we? If we get inside, it now weighs 11,625. So, we didn't really lose that much, but a little bit. All right. So, let's just jump out one more time. Now, what we need to do is we need to use this. So, how do we use it? All right, well, we need to get inside first and foremost. That's the most important thing. And then we need to press either K or I and go to control panel. Now we're inside the control panel. We can start to look at what do we need. Well, we've got the drill. We know we've got that. We've got the thrusters. We know we've got those. All right, we've got everything in the control panel set up. So now what we can do, we've also got the cargo container. We can just rename that to just cargo container. Ore detector is fine. We'll put that at 50 meters because that's important. Everything else is there. The battery's there. Everything else, we're all good. All right, so now what we need to do is come out of this screen and press G. In G, we can go to our block tools. Our block tools show us all of the tools. This is all of the blocks on this grid. All of the thrusters, the battery, everything else. We want to go to block tools to get the drill. Now, if we drag the drill down to the toolbar, we can place it where we want it. Okay, if we do that, we can choose what we want this to do. Okay, it's really important that as we do this, now, because I've got this drill, if I turn the ship on, I can then now use it as a normal drill. So left click, turns it on, right click. If I hold it, it drills a hole. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pick this ship up. Okay, I'm going to get inside the ship. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our little hole that we made. There we go. There's our little hole. Nice little hole. And what we're going to do this time is we're actually going to drill this, but with the actual ship. And what you're going to notice is if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, our weight now is going to start to go up. And that is because we are now drilling from this ship down into this hole. And we're starting to pick up all of this stone. Now, what we can also do is make a bigger hole if we want to, that the ship can fit into. And we're actually going down to... We can't stop ourselves now. We don't have enough power to get out. There we go. Just enough. So if we're in here like this and we're drilling, we haven't really got enough power to get us out at the moment. We're struggling. And that means that we can't really move. Okay, it's quite important for us to be able to move. So we're just under the ground. Okay. We can move back, and now we can get out because we've got 4 thrusters, which means we can get out really easily. But we're struggling with everything else. So all we're going to do is just come down here, just to the side like this, and we're just going to land. Okay, nice and easy. We're going to land, and we're going to turn the ship off. And we're going to jump out the ship. Because what we've done now, if I open up the back here, I've got all of this stone. We just picked up 5,000 stone. So now what I can do is I can drop that off, turn around. Okay, I can pick up this stone again. Oh. Now this is in the cockpit. It's not actually letting me pick this up. If I look in the drill... Oh. Because I've turned the power off, I've turned everything off. So if I look in the cockpit... There we go. If I left the power on, I would have been able to carry on doing this. So now what I'm doing... There we go. Again, because it's in the cockpit, I need to turn it on first. Well, I can do that quite easily. I can go to K, I can go to battery, turn the battery on, and now if I open this up, I can drag it across because now the converter and everything's turned on. I can drop that off. All right, it's all done, and now I can jump in here. So I can jump back in, again, by just simply pressing F, and now I'm back inside, and now it flies much easier again. So I can come back down into my hole. Again, got to make sure that I'm... There we go. Start drilling. And again, if I wanted to, I can just make the hole a bit bigger. So it's a bit easier for me to drill. And there we go. We're going to start drilling again. So power's on. We're drilling away. Looking at how much weight we've got. 1850. All right, so press inventory and look, we can see cockpit 2 is full up. Cargo container has got some in it. The drill hasn't actually got that much in it at the moment. But we can just keep going right now. Now, I actually don't need to worry about getting this out. I don't need to worry about getting it out. I can just keep drilling down like this. And the reason for that is because now that I'm in here... Let me just straighten up our ship. There we go. So now we're straight. We need to try and keep level. That's the key. All right, so now we're in here. We can just start drilling. Keeping it nice and flat, nice and straight, and we're just going to keep drilling down. So what we've done now is we've filled up everything. The drill is almost full. Okay, now the drill is, again, almost full. So that is full now. Everything's full. That's not going to go up any higher. So that's all done. We're full. So now we can come back. As long as we're keeping... We've got to keep an eye on that gravity. That gravity is important to us. So now we can come out of here. And take off. All right, there we go. So now we can come out. Again, still a bit of a chunk. There's still some stuff we can take off the top. But again, we can come down here now. We can land. And we can jump out of here. Now, we've got 22 minutes of battery left. So that's not a lot of battery. This doesn't matter too much right now. But we do want to bear in mind that we are running out of battery. So let's just jump out of here. Again, all we're going to do right now is we're going to grab everything out of here. Now, we want to withdraw all of the, not the components, but this stuff. So, take that out of there. We're going to put it in there. Again, turn around. Take this out of there. Look, we've got so much now. So, we've so much stone. Thousands and thousands and thousands of stone here. So, all we're going to do, by keep grabbing it out of this cargo container, is going to move it from everywhere else. See how it's moving it back? So, it puts it into there for us. And all we're doing now, see how much quicker this is already? And this is only the start. But what we're going to do is we're just going to finish unloading this into here. Everything's been deposited into the refinery, so the refinery's working. There we go. And I think you'll agree, oh, that was a much, much quicker process to be able to do that. Now, we do have a few things on us that we can't put in here at the moment because this is, unfortunately, this is full. There we go. Take the last bit out. Right, so this is, our drill is now empty again. And now we've got 10,000 stone in here. We're making loads of this stuff. And if we look at production, we're getting there. We're making these. We need a lot of these, but look, we're making them. And that's what counts, right? So look at how many of these power cells we need, right? We need this battery. This battery is important because this battery, well, it's not the most important thing, to be honest. We don't, like, need this. I guess we need a converter more than this, but this battery is important because we've got 20 minutes of this left, right? So what we want to do is utilize this 20 minutes that we've got here to be able to really get the most out of this. Now, if we're not using it that much, we get a bit longer, so that's nice. But we just want to be able to come down like this. Again, making sure we keep an eye on that gravity. We really want to keep it as straight as we can. We don't want to be flying this at a weird angle because we want to use that upward thruster. And then we're just going to come in and we're going to keep farming. So now, this is how we're going to generate stone. It's so much easier. As long as we keep this flat and straight, we can just keep boring into this tunnel. And at this stage, we can just go in a straight line. We're far enough down now that we can do this. And we're not going to really do any damage to anything. We can just keep going forward. And you can keep an eye on that weight. So you know that weight level. Once it's full, and it's not going up anymore. So 25, that's pretty much it. Just a little bit more. 26 now. 27, 28, so 29. All right, almost 30. There we go. We're up to 30 now. 32. And that is it. We're not going to get any more out of that. That means we're full. So that's full, and this is pretty much full. So we know that 32,000 kilograms in the bottom right, that is our limit. And it's difficult, but we can still move with this. So it's not easy, but it works. And for the purpose of what we're doing right now, it's so much easier than what we were doing. We can do so much more with this. So again, just going to bring this back to here. This is the key right now, is to be able to leave this here. Okay, and we're just going to jump out. So, pressing F. Oh! Now, that's not good. I just dropped that on here, and it just broke some of this. So, what we want to do is make sure we haven't broken any of this ship. Hopefully not, because that would be a problem. But we have just, because we dropped it here, we actually just broke this section here. So, again, you want to be careful when you're doing this. You can't just drop it onto these, onto things like this. But, yeah. All right, so same thing again. So we're going to grab this now, and we're going to put this into here. Now, this is only temporary. This is until we can build a connector for this. And we don't have a connector at the moment. We'll be building a connector next. What we could do is we could remove this, and we could build a connector onto this. So it goes straight into here, but we're not doing that right now. What we're doing is we're just fixing off our battery. Because we want to be able to start... At the moment, as long as that wind turbine is turning and it's not utilizing a battery, we are wasting energy. So we really want to get that going as quickly as possible. So again, coming across to here, pressing I, grabbing this across, coming to here. That's it. Simple as that. Easy. So I, drag it across, turn around, left alt, middle mouse button. And then we can come into here and we can grab all of these power cells that it's making for us. And we're almost there. And then whilst that is processing, we're just going to simply go out and do the same again. And we just keep rinsing and repeating. It's much, much quicker to be able to do this. So let's go down again. Again, making sure that we're just boring down into this hole, but we're doing it in, well, as much as we can in a straight line. And again, just watching that weight now. So we can keep boring forward, keeping an eye on that weight. because the weight is what's really going to tell us once we're full. So we know we can hold about 32,000. In this case, 31.8. All right, we seem to have got stuck a little bit. If you do, just use the right mouse button. Just, there we go, clear a little hole. Oh, we're not actually able to get out at the moment. And that's because we need to be straight. Again, because we're that heavy, we have to come out pretty much vertically. And if we can't, well, that's where we're going to struggle. We need to be able to come up like this. All right, keeping ourselves nice and straight. Keeping ourselves straight is key here. There we go. And again, just to the side, and then we're going to bring this down, just like so. Jumping out. All right. Already, can you see just how quickly? It's still not quick. Wait until we automate this process. It'll be much easier. But for now, as a starting point, it just helps us. Now, we could, if we wanted to, take this ship out and go and find some iron. Go and find some ore. That's going to make it even quicker for us. But I'm going to assume that you may not be near any ore. And we don't really have the battery at the moment to go and find any iron, which is why we're doing this with stone. Yes, it is a painful process, but until we can charge that battery, we don't really want to go any further. We want to stay here, because if that battery dies, we have to just carry on by hand. But we have to be able to charge that battery at the moment. That battery, if that battery runs out, that ship's not going to work. And so it's very, very important that we're able to do that. Now, I think this is full. Yep, this is at capacity, so we're just waiting for that stone to process so we can get some more out. Okay. And then looking at the production there, still got 23 of these to go. So we're getting there, but still a little bit more to do. So, okay, let's go down again. All right, we're pretty much just going in a line now. Which is fine. We're far enough under the ground that we can do this. Just watching that bottom, towards the bottom right-hand side there. We've got 13 minutes of battery left, so not that long. All right, we're pretty much full now, so we're going to jump out. So just coming backwards. Using those thrusters that we've got to be able to just navigate our way out. Oh! Pressed the wrong button there. So I actually pressed Z there, which turned off the dampeners. And the problem with doing that, as you can see... Oh, we might be in trouble now. Yes, so the problem with doing that is now I think we've just broken... We're too heavy to get out of this hole now. Alright, so I think we're just going to have to turn the engine off for a minute. Which is not ideal, because we're going to just slide down. Let's jump out and let's see what we've done. Right, so this thruster is damaged. We need a metal grid to repair this. And I think that one's okay. This one's okay. And this one's okay. So we need a metal grid. So let's just get up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a metal grid. So production, to make a metal grid, we need cobalt. We don't have any cobalt, which means there's not really much we can do about that thruster being down. But losing that thruster is stopping us the ability of climbing. So we're going to have to take some weight out of here. There's nothing else we can do at the moment because of that. That's very unfortunate. Also, we've got a bit of scrap on us. Let's just dump that there. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. So that was a very, very unfortunate little crash that we had. But you can see already just a simple little crash like that, how much that can affect us. Now, we don't have the thrust anymore to be able to get up. We are too heavy. So we need to remove some weight. We just can't literally get up. So what I'm going to have to do, just turn the engine off, jump out, and we're going to have to ditch some weight. And so this is why it's a good example of why I didn't want to get too far out of here. So what we're going to do now, we don't have any hydrogen, so when we run out of that, we're in trouble. So this is why, at this stage, again, I didn't want to go too far. The purpose of using this as a drill is so I can continue to use it just here. I'm just going to use this to get up and turn it off. Again, I don't want that hydrogen to run out. Put that stone there, because if I have to carry on by hand, then I'll be able to do that. But at the moment, I'm going to keep processing. Hold on a minute. Do I have... Oh, I have one already. I didn't even notice I had that. I wasn't even looking. Oh, well, that's brilliant. Because I've got that, I should be able to repair this. I just need 8 motors. Okay. Well, I can do that. That was very handy that I had that spare. So I just need some more motors. So let's go into production. Stop that. Stop that. In fact, stop all of that for now. We just need to make 8 motors. So let's just make 8 motors. That's the first thing we want to do. So we're just going to grab this stone. We can't grab any more at the back, and because we've turned the battery off, we have to come to the drill, and we'll grab the rest from the drill. Okay. That was just because of a misclick, because I pressed the Z key. All of this is a result of that. So we'll grab those motors, and then at least we'll be able to power on and get ourselves out of that hole. Checking out the inventory. Now, here's the other thing. The wind turbine, if we have a look here, so if we press K, let's have a look at the wind turbine. It's generating 420 kilowatts. So if we look at the refinery needs 330, and the assembler needs 280. So 600 kilowatts. So we don't have enough power to run the refinery and the assembly at the same time. We can only do one or the other, but we can't do both. And so that's another important thing to consider. We need to make sure that we've got enough power to run both. So at the moment, the refinery has got all of these materials. Let's just move them across to here. So they're now in the assembler. Okay, so now the assembler has, or should have, everything it needs. What's it saying it's missing? Oh, inventory is full. Oh, wow, because my inventory is full now. This is full. I can't make anything else. So I'm going to take out those. There you go. Now it's going to continue to make these for me. I can put these in here. 57 now. Okay. I've got these are now done. Grab those. Oh, go to inventory, sorry. Go and grab those. So we've got these, and let's go back down and fix our ship. So, again, just fixing this. Alright, I still need another 5 motors. So, just grabbing those quickly, making sure I go to production, make another 10. And again, just careful because we're running out of this, this space. Alright, so now that should work. I'm pretty sure. Is that enough? We just need now 2 construction components. Alright, well that's easy. We can do that. 2 construction components. Yep, we've got those. Okay, so down we come. And it's functional again, so that's good. So that's working. So we can now very carefully come into here, turn it on. And as long as we're not stupid. Should be able to go straight. And we're clicked in. So that's good. And we're level, which is good. So just getting up to that 32,000 mark, which means we're full. Perfect, that's it, we're full. Okay, so now we're going to back out very carefully, not pressing the wrong button this time, not pressing that Z key. That was the whole problem that happened just there. And we're out again. So again, this is a very good example of just how careful you need to be. If you smash those thrusters, which are not protected, it just takes a little clip of those thrusters, and then that's it. So just making sure that when we land very softly, and we're very careful. 12 minutes left, so not long. All right, let's continue to dump all this material off. Still got a lot we need to do. Now, if you're near iron, the iron is going to produce so much more, so much quicker. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, and the reason I'm doing this is because if you're in the middle of nowhere, you're going to struggle. And you can see just how much quicker we are working now compared to if we was doing this by hand. Now, this is not quick, but it's definitely quicker than it was. We're able to generate a lot more, a lot quicker than we were. So let's just fill this up. All right, that's pretty much everything there. That is now full. Excellent. All right, and then let's just jump in there and turn it off for a minute. All right, so we're going to turn that off just while we do this. Now we're going to have a look in here. We're going to go back to production, and we need to make another 20 power cells. I don't know how many we need exactly. We need another 23. So another 3 power cells on top of this is what we need. So we'll just go for production. 1, 2, 3. All right, that is all of those. And then that should then be working. We only need the battery working. So we just need the power cells. Possibly the computer, but I think it's just the power cells. And then the battery's on. So that's going to be a huge thing. Also, just for now, I'm going to remove this because it's in the way. We don't need it there. Okay, so that's done. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, just because of where we are right now and what we're doing, I can actually remove this. I don't really feel that this serves a purpose being here. So yeah, I'm gonna remove that for now. I can pick all of this stuff up because I might want to move it. I actually want to take this down as well. I'm going to replace this and I'm going to put it right here. So let's take this down. Okay, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put in survival, bring that down here to spot 4. Remember, if I die, I'm in trouble. Oh, it's going to be blue as well. That's nice. Let's actually change the color of it, shall we? We don't want it to be blue. Let's change it. We're going to make it, I think, probably red because it's kind of health, right? Health related. So yeah, let's do that. We'll make it that color. All right. Let's just put it there. Perfect. All right. Let's turn this on. Build it up, sorry. And back over here.
Inventory full.
Wow. There we go. That's now full and working, so that's all good. And then what we can do is if we go to G and we go to H2, which is the next thing we need to build, we can actually build that on here. So we'll do that. So that's going to be there. We've got the battery there, which we don't really care about too much. We don't need to see that. That's going to connect to that, which is all over here. And that's kind of this whole area now built up. And because we've now connected up the battery and everything else, we can delete this. We no longer need it. That's still going to work now. So perfect. So everything's kind of where it needs to be. Looking good so far. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make sure that we can power this up. How are we going to do that? All right, well, the next thing is we want to build a connector. Okay, so a connector. So let's bring the connector port down and ready so that we're ready for it. Now, this connector port, we're going to press number 9. Let's just take it back to its normal color. Okay, so connector port is going to be port number 9. That's how we're going to build it. All right, and we're going to put it on the end here. And that is going to allow us to connect our ship to this, like that. We're also going to build one on the back of the ship, like so. But we don't have the parts to do that right now. So we just want to wait a minute, because if we do this... Oh, I need a steel plate. I was wondering why it wouldn't let me do it. Okay, so we can still access this from inside here. So we just need to grab a steel plate. All right, so now I've shown you that way to work. Now what we can do, okay, is we can start to build these. Now we're going to need quite a lot of steel plates to build this. And obviously once we've got in here, we're not going to be able to do anything else. So let's make sure we've got all of these parts first, okay? And to do that, we're going to simply right-click. And then we're going to click on here. We're going to shift and middle mouse. And then we're going to withdraw everything we need. So we still need a lot of these plates. I think the battery should be online now. But I do need to be careful because I am a little bit overweight. So let me just get rid of the stuff that I don't need. I don't need to hold the ice at the moment. I definitely don't need to hold the credits or the gun. I don't need to hold the oxygen bottle. Or that. Or that. Or that. There's a lot of stuff here I don't need to hold at the moment. So it's weighing me down. So let's get rid of all of that stuff for now. And then let's just come across to here. Alright, and inside there I want to grab these. As many as I can. And I want to finish this battery off. Alright, almost there. Right. We can actually get rid of the stuff we don't need in order for the stuff that we do. There we go. Okay. There we go. The battery is now live. So that's done. Which means that we're now going to be charging this battery. If we open up this keypad and we look at this battery, we can see that it's going to take 2 days to fully recharge. 2 days to fully recharge. But the good thing about this now is that it's recharging. So you can change between recharge and discharge. It's 20 hours now if we just recharge it and don't use it, don't drain it. But we're going to stick this on auto. And that means that that is going to charge that in 2 days. What that basically means right now is that we need more power. So we need more power. That's where we're struggling at the moment. We've only got one wind turbine. Okay, so the way that we're going to fix this, and I appreciate this has been a long video, but I want to kind of get all of this out so that you've got everything that you need. We're going to take a couple of things with us right now. We're going to take some steel plates with us. Okay, we need loads of these steel plates, so we'll do that. And we're going to take off. Now, we've got to be careful with this because we don't have, at the moment, we don't have any, actually, this is a very good point. We need to build out this. We need to build out this. Let's get this built because this is a problem for us, okay? So let's get this built. We've got enough steel plates to do this. Let's get this built because then we've got everything that we need. All right, so let's just press G and get rid of that. We're going to add the bits that we need. All components were successfully added. Perfect. Now we've built this as well. So now we can heal ourselves. We can fix ourselves if we can get some ice, which we've got here. We can actually put the ice in there. So we'll put that into the generator. We can fill up our tank again. And we're back in business. Great. So that was a point where we're struggling a little bit. So really good that we were able to do that. The rest of the stuff here, we just don't need it at the moment. It can all just stay there for now. And now we want to build this. Okay, so this is the next most important thing for us to build. But if we close this off, we're not going to be able to do it. So this is where we need to be a little bit careful. Just keep this so we can access it. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to right-click on this. It's going to, I have to make sure we've got the welder out. Okay, and that is going to, we need 109 steel plates. So if we go to production, there's nothing in here. We need 109 steel plates. So we need a lot of steel plates. right? And we can see we just don't have enough steel for this. So we're going to have to go back down and get some more stone. Like, iron is really what we're missing at the moment. Okay, we're going to need a lot more iron. But we've pretty much got everything we need there. This is all pretty good at the moment, so we can leave this as it is. All we need to do now is jump into our ship, pressing F, and turning it on. And we've still got a little bit of time left, so we're okay for now. We're okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to head down, and hopefully 1 or 2 more runs is all this is going to take. Hopefully. We shall see. All right, let's jump into our cockpit. We're going to level out because it's quite important that we're straight. And again, we're using that circle just to the right of our toolbar to do this. Just to be able to level out. And then drill on, and down we go. Watching the weight, making sure that we get close towards 32, and then we know we're full. $35 actually. We can put a little bit more in there, but okay. So let's head back. Trying to straighten up a little bit. Make sure we fly straight. Coming back. It's getting a bit dark now. Again, the key here is just to practice. This is really, really good practice to go nice and slow, not to damage your ship, not to get caught on anything. Very important there as well. And again, you can see how the thrusters are working. You can... And we're out. Perfect. Okay. So what we can do is we can actually take off from here. We can move this across to here. And we can actually land on this. We'll be okay. As long as we're careful and we go down softly, we can land on here. We're okay. There we go. So even though we did damage that bit before, it doesn't need to be that way. So here we go. So we can get to the back of the panel here. We can take out all of that stone that we got. And we can just place it in there. Oh. Now the problem we've got, and this is a really good lesson, all of the weight is in the front. And because we've just taken all the weight out of the cargo in the back, now as you can see, it's just tipped over. Another really, really good lesson in how this game works. Again, you're going to have to learn this, so it's really good to be able to see it in these examples here. Where if we start to take it out of the drill, there we go, it's now starting to balance a little bit more. So you really, really have to consider everything from the weight dynamics to... If you put all the thrusters on the back and not on the front, then you'll just flip over. Again, just things that you're going to have to consider when you're building. Okay, so now I think we've pretty much covered most of the stuff we need to do in this video. I do just want to finish this off for you so that you've got everything you need. And we're pretty much there right now. So we've managed to withdraw everything that we need to finish off this. We need to get the construction components, so we need 40 of those. So what I'm going to do right now, there's nothing in the build planner, so I'm just going to grab that. And I'm going to grab that. So everything was now built. So I can now build this successfully. This is our connector. Right, that connector is now built, but I also need to build this connector. So I need all of the parts for this connector now. And I can use this to be able to get them. But I'm missing a few parts. So I'm not going to be able to do this. So I can start to build it. But I'm just missing a few parts that I'm going to need to be able to finish this off. Which is very simple. Just some construction components, some small steel tubes, and some motors. So now, that's now done. Right, now that this is done, I can jump back in the cockpit. This was the hardest part of what we needed to do. So let's turn the engine on. And now we can fly what we can do is we can line ourselves up. So if we move ourselves to this docking port, if we get close enough to it, all right, and we need to be close enough, if we just get ourselves, there we go, it turns yellow and it magnetizes us on. Now we can park by pressing P. Now we are connected, and as a result, we can leave the cockpit. Our battery is now charging. So now we are using this wind turbine to charge up this ship. So now we've got battery power. We're okay. We're in a much, much stronger place now where we don't have to worry as much. We've got a pretty good ship. All right, so now that we've done that, we just need to consider how can we better build this so that the thrusters are better protected, and so that we can like remove some of the padding around these units and just clean this ship up a little bit so it just flies a little bit better. Maybe put an extra booster on the side, the front, back, and the side, so that it can just handle the weight a little bit better. That's what we need to look at now. How can we improve this ship so that it becomes better for us? Also, this dock gives us some more storage, so we're going to be a bit heavier now because of this. We can store stuff in there as well. So we need to consider at least having a couple of thrusters each way. Now, we know that 4 thrusters lifts us up, but 3 does not. So we need to really consider having 4 thrusters in each direction. 4 left, 4 right, 4 forward, 4 back, and 4 up. That's what we need to consider building out onto this ship for it to be nice and stable. All right, so the battery's charging. That's now working. We've now got our hydrogen, so that's good. So we've done that now. We've also got our ability here. So the only thing we're really missing right now is that cargo that we wanted. So if we type in cargo, we want that small cargo container. And that's really what we're missing right now. So that's what we want to build next. Now, it doesn't actually matter where we build it. In fact, I'm just going to place it down here. I just need to have an interior plate to be able to do that. So connect to this, grab that interior plate, and I'm just going to put that cargo container down right there. So it doesn't matter where it goes. I just need to be able to build it. So I can right click, and then here I can see what's missing. And if I go into my production, there's nothing there. So if I hold down left shift, middle mouse, it's now going to do everything I need to build this cargo. So only a few things, but there are some metal grids. I need 4 metal grids, and they're going to be harder to get. But now that I've got the ability to move, now that I can charge this battery up, and I just need to see how long it's going to take to charge. But yeah, now I can do that. I can remove a lot of the stuff on the side and things like that. I'll do that in a minute. I don't need to do it right now, but I can do that in a minute. But I can start to build some new stuff here. And we can have some fun with this. And so what I'm going to do now is actually I'm going to remove this here and this here. The reason for that is now I can get underneath the ship. I can even get rid of this one and this one. And I can actually get rid of this one. So now I've still got access to get to everything that I need to get to. But look, the ship is now floating. Perfect. I can even get rid of this one if I wanted to, because I don't really need it anymore. But that's fine. That's everything that I needed is now there. So this battery is charging. It's going to take this battery 9 hours to be charged at the moment. So this is the biggest problem, is energy. We're waiting for power. And so how do we get more power? Well, it's very simple. We're going to take these plates that we've got here, these interior plates. We're going to press G. We're going to remove everything we don't need, and we're going to type in wind turbine. We're going to build some more wind turbines. Now, the other thing we need to take with us is some of these steel plates. I'll explain why in a moment. Okay, so if I take off now... Sorry, just press G, because I need some light armor blocks. Okay, so if I now press X and I take off, I'm going to go to the top of this, and I'm going to come down 1. I'm going to put a block here. I'm going to put a block here. I'm going to put a block here, and I'm going to put a block here. Now I'm going to press 7, because this is what I've got for my my wind turbine, and I'm going to place it here. Now, it's 3 blocks, but that doesn't interfere with the top block, and that's why we drop down 1. I can also put one here, and it will not interact with this one, so they will not conflict with each other. I can place one here, and I can place one here. What that is going to do is it's going to give me, and now I'm just going to go back to my grinder, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to come down. And I can actually use this port if I want to that's on the ship. This is a docking connector on the ship, but because it's all connected, I can use this to access everything I need. So what I'm going to do is press I, go to production, and there's still this stuff that is producing. This is the stuff that is producing for the cargo, the cargo container. So what I can do is on top of that, I can line up everything that we need for another wind turbine. And now if I look at the production, all of this additional stuff is here. So I can put that to the front. I can put that to the front. I can put these motors to the front and these internal panels to the front. Now, I've already got quite a few internal panels, so we're okay. But everything else I can build to get that second wind turbine going. All right. So the only problem I've got now is getting into the ship. I can do that there. All right. And so now I can press P. And I'm going to disconnect. I've got 20 minutes now of charge. So I've got a decent bit of charge. I can look in here. Everything in here is empty, so this is good. So I'm in a good place. So now what I can do is just go to the side, come back a little bit. And as before, all I'm going to do is just come back into our little hole. And that's it. I can come down into here and I can start to bore in my little hole. Grab myself some of that rock. Now that docking port is going to make us a lot heavier. So we can fill up, but we need to test. It's very important every time we build something, we test it. We have to see how it works. So first of all, we're going to see how much more. Now, we've only got 9 minutes of power left here. 32. So we're going up more now than we had before. We're up to 33 now. Still going. 34. 35. And that's about it. 35.8. So if we check, this is now full. So is this. The connector is now full as well. The drill is full, pretty much. And so is the connector. And we've also got our own weight on us as well. So we're going to back out of here. We can still move. It's still moving. It's okay. But we're just going to... Oh, we can't actually go up. So the spacebar is not working. Okay. So that's a problem. All right, we're going to see if we can just drag ourselves backwards and upwards at the same time. See if we can really use that force to get ourselves out. All right, it's really hard. And we can see we're struggling. We've got 6 minutes of battery left. All right, we're getting up. Making sure we don't tilt over. We are starting to tilt. Okay. So this is just too heavy for us. We are not able to get out with this. Nope, we're not able to get out. So now we've got a bit of a problem on our hands. Like, what do we do? We're stuck. So we could quite simply move this. This is going to be from the drill to us and just drop it. And it will just literally drop it off the front. So that's just made us a little bit lighter. Okay, let's move back round. Is that going to be enough to get us out? I don't think it is. We've only got 5 minutes of battery left. Oh, is it? We're okay? Yep, we're out. Okay, so we just managed to get out, but that was really difficult. Really difficult. So now, considering that we've got out, we need to do is move over to here. We don't even need to manually unload it anymore. All we need to do is just come to this container. Whoa, so that's how quickly we dropped. We only just touched down. We dropped really... So we're really struggling here at the moment. So what we're going to do is just bring this up. Again, there we go. Lock on and press P. Okay, now P is not the best thing to press. At the moment, P for park works absolutely fine. We can use it for now. But it's not the best thing to use. Now look, everything that's... Because we're connected now, everything in the ship is automatically going to be dragged into the... We don't have to do anything. It's automatically going to be dragged. The drill is now empty. The connector has the stuff in it. There's 2 connectors here. So everything is getting moved. All of the stone, everything is going into the refinery. You see that? So let's go to the control panel. Okay, so now we've got cockpit, right? So we're going to call this drill. So we're going to call this drill, okay? So, oh, actually, we'll call it bore. It's a bore ship. We're going to call it bore, and this is the bore drill, okay? This is the bore. So we can control and see that. So this is going to be cargo, okay? Then we've got, this is going to be the bore dock connector. This is going to be the bore drill. And this is going to be the bore battery, okay? So now everything, it's got its name. The ore detector will leave that as well, so that's fine. So that's everything on the bore. Okay, now this is actually the base battery. So now what I can do is go base and do the same thing. So now everything that is in the base, this is base, basic refinery, but we can actually call it the base refinery. This is the assembler. We'll just call it the base assembler. And this is the connector, but we're going to call it the base dock connector. Okay, so we know if it's bore or base. We know the difference between the two. All right, good. So now that we've got that, go back to our inventory. Everything from the bore. So if we just want to look at what we're on at the moment, this is everything. This is only what we're currently on, the current ship. So this is going to show us it's empty. The ship is empty. We're charging up at the moment. If we look at the control panel and we look at the bore battery, it's going to fully charge in 10 hours. And we don't want to wait 10 hours. So what we can do is just set it to recharge. And it's going to be fully charged in 15 minutes. It's going to drag all of the power just into this to put it into recharge mode. Now, if I come out of this and I exit, because it's in recharge mode at the moment, it's turned off. There's no lights on it. We can't actually fly. If I disconnect this, it will just drop to the floor. And very important I don't do that. So whilst I'm here, let me just take these pads off the bottom because we don't want this armoured here. This is all extra weight that we don't need at the moment. And I know it looks nice and it protects it a little bit, but yeah, this is stuff that I just don't need. So let's just take all of this off the bottom. And we're closing on our 3-hour mark, and already we have got so much done. All right, we're going to take this off here. Okay. Perfect. Now we want to be careful. We don't want to take the thrusters off. Now that was a mistake. I pressed the wrong button there, so I'm just going to put that back. Alright, so now we've cleaned up the bottom of this ship. Now we've still got some stuff on the top. That's fine. But the bottom, pretty much cleaned up now. We got rid of most of this additional weight. Now, it does mean that the battery is exposed and so are the thrusters, so we do have to be very careful when we're flying this thing. We don't want to crash it. But yeah, it's definitely in a much better place. Now, you can see the battery is charging. Now, this is yellow, which means it can't be used. If we disconnect, it will drop. So we don't want to do that. But it does mean now that we do have the ability to change some things around. All right, so what do we want to change around? What's important for us to do at the moment? Well, we've got these 4 thrusters. But are there any better thrusters that we can use? Well, yes, there is. We could use these flat atmospheric thrusters. So we could grab those instead. And if I use this, here we go, we can connect this to the bottom of the ship. So if I just get a big one, what we can do is we can place these on the ship, or if we wanted to, we could go back into the menu, type in thruster, and we've got these large ones as well. And we've also got these end ones as well. So these kind of end panels here. Now, these are huge. So just want to show you the difference between them. Okay. So this is going to be the big one. As you can see. You can choose between medium and big. But that's big and that's medium. So we want this size. Now, you can see it needs some space because if I put it that way, it would destroy everything in its way. All right, and it even tells you, it gives you that extra grid so you can see that extra space that it needs. Now, we're not going to, because it's very important, we're not going to cover that. And also, I think rather than having that square one, it might be quite nice to instead have a more rounded off one. It's going to look a bit better for us. So we're going to place that underneath. And now we've got this instead. So we need to build this, but it's going to take 3 metal grids. So we need to just bear in mind that that's 3 metal grids that we need to build. But we can use that. We could take away 3 of these thrusters, and we could use this instead. So just as we start to change things about, we can just start to look how we can take off the... Because we keep damaging these. So if we put 2 of those underneath, it's going to be a lot better for us. But we're not quite ready to do that yet. And because we're not quite ready to do that, we're going to continue as we are just for now, just so that we can finish building things out. Now, because we've got our battery and our battery's charging, we're going to be in a much better position now to be able to do stuff. So, what I am going to do right now, because these thrusters are kind of sticking out a bit, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this thruster off, and I'm going to take all of this stuff off that we don't need here on the side, because it's kind of in the way. There we go. We'll get rid of all of that. We'll just grind it all down. We're not wasting anything. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this thruster. So we're going to press our G button. Go back to our thrusters. We're going to use these atmospheric thrusters. We'll get rid of everything else we don't need at the moment. And I'm actually going to place this down like so. And I quite like the fact that it was blue. It looked quite nice, so we'll leave it as blue. We could go red. We can do what we want. But I think blue's quite nice, so we'll leave them as blue. And that's the colour, so press P for that. Oh. And we're going to put these just here with nothing below it. Okay, it's very important there's nothing below it. So that is going to go there. And then we're just going to finish building this. Okay. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to remove this one. Okay. That actually took the light off as well. So we can build the lights again now because we've got the assembly. We can build those lights. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the other thruster on the other side just there, like so. And that's going to give us our downward force that we need. Alright, so we've got our cockpit there, but we've got these thrusters as well. Perfect, so 2 there. Alright, let's also take this stuff off the top because we don't need this anymore. All of this is just a bit of noise that we don't need. Okay. We'll do this side as well. Now this is just a mining ship at the moment. We don't really care about anything else. We just want to get rid of anything that is not going to be conducive of mining. So anything that's going to weigh us down. We're not going to crash this ship. We're not really going to do much with this ship. We're just going to use it. Right, that whole side of the ship has just fallen off now. So all of that was connected. So that's fine. Because we kind of wanted to do that. But what we're going to do now is take these thrusters off. Because we want these. Alright, and then all of this is just noise. Oh, no, there's a couple more thrusters there. We'll take that one off. We need to take off the ore detector. Right, so let's just put the rest of the stuff back on. Alright, so there's a battery on one side. We don't have a battery on the other side just yet. We will put another battery on. That will be our next thing to do here, is to have 2 batteries on here. But we don't have one at the moment. So what we're going to do is just put this on instead. We want to try and line it up so it's in the same place, which is about there. And the other one we can't put on just yet there, so we're going to put it there instead. We'll move this in a minute. In fact, let's just see if we can do that now before we get too carried away. So press G, type in battery. We're going to drag the battery down. We don't want it to be that color, so the battery can just be clear like this. All right, and that's the battery. That's where we're going to want to put it. So we're going to want to put it right there. Perfect. And then we want to put the other thruster on the other side of the battery, just there like so. And this one we want to be blue. Okay, so now we've got our thrusters. We've got our battery. Let's just finish off building this thruster. We're going to make these 100% because we don't want them to get damaged. Also, we can pick up this stuff that we had here now. We've got the ore detector. We're going to need that. And then these are just panels. So we don't really care about these panels. These can just be dismantled for steel. Although I'm not really desperate for steel anymore. Another thruster there. We'll grab that. And then these are simply... Oh, there is a light there. We're going to break that light down. So what we're going to do is just grab that. Oh, we actually broke it. We're going to put new lights on anyway, so it's absolutely fine. We'll do that in a minute. Just getting rid of all of these panels. And as you can see, just so much extra weight that wasn't needed. Yep, that's fine. We're going to go and sort our energy out in just a second. All right. So now we've got our thrusters on both sides. We've got our battery on one side as well. Let's go and just pop up here and just get ourselves some energy. And we're now completely self-sufficient on our base. So the only downside that we've got at the moment is we need to ensure that we've got more power. That's the biggest problem for us. And so that's what I want us to get to. If we can just get to this stage, then I feel like we've achieved everything we need to achieve. So I'm not worried about the cargo at the moment. That will come later. I don't have the power cells to finish that off just yet. I feel like... Yeah, okay. I don't feel like I should have broken that, but I did. Let me continue with this. I want to get it as strong as I can. I haven't got any bulletproof glass to finish that. Going to get this as well. I want to get everything up to 100%. So even if it takes a little knock, it's not going to cause too many problems. And most of that is just going to be steel plates and interior plates. But that's pretty much everything now at 100%. And I feel like it's just a bit better now. Okay, so let's just head up here. And what I need to do, because as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit with these thrusters right now. So that's the next thing that I want to do. I've got my thruster on the right here. So we're going to place this one down like so. We've got the one on the left here as well, which we need to paint. What do we want to do? We want to just take this one off. You can change the color of it.
Inventory full.
Oh, that was a mistake. Let's just build this one up. If I build this one, I will clear out the inventory so that I can then pick up these pieces and I can put this one down. I just want to make sure I'm getting the right color. I've actually changed the color of that, which I didn't want to do. So, yeah, I need to go over to this. If I press Shift and P, I'll change the color on the settings. So there we go. I'm going to put that one down there. I still need one to go forward as well. So I don't have my forward thruster on here at the moment. So I will need to add that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off this. Just have a think about where I'm going to place this. Okay. So just for now, temporarily, this is going to change. I'm going to take that off. And we're going to put a thruster there. But this isn't going to fit on here because of the cockpit. So it means I'm going to have to take off this one as well. So just bear with me a second while I do this. Because I've got our down thruster, we've got our left and right thruster. We need our our forward and back one. So that's obviously at the moment just a bit of a challenge. So let's take this off. It's going to leave all of those components, which is fine. So now we can put this one here, like so. Just build this one up, and then build that one up as well. Just grab these parts that I need. Okay, and then I just need to put the back one on here. Turn that around. Build this. Now I am missing a few parts. I don't know where they've gone. That's fine. We'll grab those in a second. I'm going to need to put a gyro back on. You must have a gyro because you can't fly without one. So just chucking a gyro down anywhere for now. Doesn't matter where it goes. So I can just literally put it here if I want to. That's absolutely fine. And then I will take the antenna that I've got. I'm going to take the antenna off for now. And then we're going to press G. We're going to go to the antenna. Oh, I can't put the antenna on. What am I missing? All right, let me check. I don't need it at the moment. The antenna is actually not important. But I will check what I need for that. We're going to flatten this down like so. So that's going to go there like that. Let's just build that. And we're going to build this. Now we need some construction components, so let's just come along to here and see if we can grab any. So from the inventory, we're going to look at all inventory. Yep, construction components are there, that's great. So that should be enough to finish off this. But also enough to finish off this. Alright, and so let's have a quick look at our ship. We have a forward and backwards thruster. We have an ore detector. We have 4 up thrusters. We have a left and a right thruster. It all works at the moment, and that's what's key. It all works. We've got 1 battery with a second one being built. We've got everything that we need. We're in a pretty strong place. Everything's at 100%. We've taken off a lot of the stuff that was causing us a problem. There's nothing on the bottom now. This is a very clean ship. So the only thing we need to do now is build this battery out. And for that, we're going to need these power cells, right? So let me just put everything here that we don't need away. Okay? So that's done. Let me just right-click on this, and let me just tell this what I need. So I'm going to grab the bits I can, and I'm going to tell it what I need so it can make everything else. All right, so now we're just waiting for those power cells to build. Okay, so that's pretty much where we are at the moment. There's still loads of stuff in production that we can't do, and that's fine. It's just we're just waiting at the moment. So we've got the power cells. Now, in order for those power cells, we're going to need to get rid of some stuff. So let's just dump this. Our ship is now fully charged, pretty much, and we're good to go. So now that the ship is pretty much fully charged, we need to finish off these wind turbines. So we're going to come up to the top here, just make sure we've got no blueprints, and we're going to press 1, we're going to press 2, we're going to press 3, and we're going to press 4. We're going to come back down to our ship. Oh, sank on the floor there, I just saw it. And we're going to queue this up. So we're going to shift, and we're going to put everything into production that we need. Now, we've got some bits. Let's see if we've got enough. I don't know if we've got enough to build this. So, yeah, we can build this one. So this will be our second one up and running. Now, we're only going to go up to the functional line. Now, do we have enough for this one as well? No, we're missing some motors and some other parts. Okay. So that's what we can now do. So now we're going to be generating literally twice as much power. So that's going to charge up this battery a lot quicker. So now what we can do is we can jump into our ship. We can press K. Look at our battery on our board. We're going to put that into auto mode. All right, 6 days. We're fully powered up. We're going to be 6 days now. So, and if we look at the base battery, all right, that's charging. It's going to be charged in 5 hours. All right, so that's now getting storage as well. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to press P, and there we're going to leave. So now you can see we've got our left, right, forward, and back. That works. We've got our 4 that go up. There we go, and down. So that works. So we're in a pretty strong place with this. The only thing we don't have on here at the moment are lights. We don't have any lights, and it's nighttime. So let's just head back quickly. We want to make sure we don't crash this as well, because that would be sad. Okay. So we're just going to head back. We're going to reconnect. Okay, press P. Now, we're not always going to press P. I'll show you a better way to do this. We're going to do that now. And we're going to put some lights on the front as well. So we'll press G. We're going to type in... Right, let's just jump out of the ship. Press G. Type in light. And we're going to put some interior lights on here. So we'll grab those. We don't need anything else here at the moment. That's all fine. So we're just going to grab these interior lights. And what we're going to do is we're going to place them... we'll place one underneath here like so. Just like this. And we'll place one on the battery here like so. And we'll place one on this battery that doesn't quite exist yet. Like so. Right, nice and easy to make these. And now we've made it, we've actually opened up some new things. There we go. So now we've got our lights. So we've got lights on our ship. So that's all good. We can also put some forward spotlights on, but we don't need those at the moment. So that's okay. All right. So we've got our power. That's good. We've got everything else that we need there. That's good. We need to make our second battery on here. So we'll do that. That's next on our list. And we need some more thrusters, or some better thrusters. We can make those as well. That's the next thing we're going to work towards. In fact, what we'll do, we'll just put the frame of those on here now. So if we type in thrusters. Oh. Again, we can choose which ones we're going to use. We're going to go for this this D stage here, which is a number 8. I don't think we're going to have it that color though. I think we can go for... there we go. We'll go for white, because white looks quite nice. Oh, I guess no, we can go... We'll go for some nice gunmetal grey. All right, so now press P. Flip that to where it needs to go. We need a steel plate. We can actually grab that from here. So just grab that steel plate. Oh, no, we can't. So even though we're connected... Huh. Strange. So even though we're connected, it's not letting us for whatever reason. I'll fix that in a minute. All right. So we're going to stick that just there. We're not going to make it just yet. And then we're going to put the light just here. Excellent. And then later, not now, but later, when we do another thruster, what we'll do is we'll grab another large thruster, and we'll put this one here. Like so. And then you can see we're going to have these 2 thrusters. So we'll get rid of these 4, because these 2 will give us everything we need for our uplift. And it will be a lot cleaner. So we'll just remove a lot of that. And then we can have the back ones here, and we can have the front ones here. So just to clean everything up and make it a lot cleaner. Kind of feel like we made a mistake as well. We should have put the battery further back. But that's okay. It's fine. It is what it is. We can actually change this later. We can leave the battery where it is. So we can leave the battery where it is. We can move the entire ship piece by piece by just moving bits. We can actually reposition that battery. So that's what we're going to do. We'll just disconnect the battery and then we can reconnect everything to it and do it that way. So there is a way, just so we don't lose those power cells. But soon we're really not going to care. We're going to have so much stuff. So let's just dump everything that we don't need right now. We're going to put it into here. And we're ready to go. So jump into our ship. Press P to disconnect. And then away we come. And yeah, into our hull. So we can just bore just one more time, just to finish this off. We've got 54 minutes of charge now, so we're absolutely fine. Alright, so we're just going to do this while we're here, just to get this working. Alright, so we're full. Let's head backwards, head out. This tunnel's getting quite deep now. Now we've got rid of all that excess weight that we didn't need. We're full up. Let me just double check. Oh, we still got some stuff in here, so we didn't even get all the stone. But that's full, that's full, that's full. Everything there's full. This isn't nearly, it's nearly full. But yeah, you get the idea. So we're pretty good. All right, that's it. We're out. And it works. Fantastic. So now we prove this concept works and we know we're in a good place. Oh, let's just try not to crash our ship. Oh, again, it doesn't really like... The problem we've got at the moment is we're struggling to go up. So we're really, really struggling to get some lift here. I'm pressing space. I've got my hand on space and nothing is happening. I am not going up at this stage. So it is really struggling to get off the ground. All right, now we're connected. Let's press P. Right, now I mentioned to you before, P was not the best button to press. The reason for that is because this connector, this bore dock connector, if we right click on this, we can switch lock, and I can actually remove this. So if I wanted to, I can drag this into a slot that I want. So a slot that works for me. So for example, I can go into slot number 2 and I want to switch lock. That way I press number 2 and it locks and unlocks. It is much, much better to set this individually on each ship. The reason for this is because if I press P, and let's just imagine I have 3 or 4 ships docked, and I press the P on the base, it will undock everything at once. We don't want to do that. When you're small, it's not a problem, but a good habit to get into is to make sure that you use this lock. And by pressing G, you can start to set up all of these things that you need for the ship that we're on. So the thrusters, everything like that, we can start to set all of this up. All right, so that's kind of important for us. The other thing we can do is these lights. So, for example, if I was to press 2, and let's just move away, and then let's press G again. Now, I've got these 3 lights. So if I was to press K, and I was to grab these interior lights, the 3 of them, I can add them to a group. So I'm going to call this bore. So let's just go bore lights. And now we've got a group for these. So now if I was to click on these lights, I can choose the intensity. So I can turn them up or down. I can even choose a radius, so I can make them a lot bigger. Look at a radius of that now. I don't want them to blink, so I can turn that off. I maybe don't want to offset them, so I can leave that. There's no blink, so we can turn all that off. I can even change the color of them if I want to. I can have some fun with this. But that's pretty much everything. Now, I don't need the lights to show in the terminal, so I can remove those. But I do want them in the toolbar config. And the reason I want this in the toolbar config is because if I now come out and press G, I've got in groups the light. And if I drag this down to here, toggle block on or off. Okay? So I can do that. And now I've got a button to turn on and off my lights. And those are some bright lights. So if I check my inventory, I'm almost empty. Not quite. So I'm going to go back a little bit more. Going to go back to where I need to be, and I'm going to press 2 to connect. Remember, that's how I'm going to connect now. And now we're connected. I've got nothing on me. There's everything here. Now, this is the base, so that's fine. So if I just look at my ship, I do have this stuff, but I can't move this from the cargo. For some reason, let me just check. So board cargo. Oh, yeah, I can. So this is the board dock connector. So that's fine. And then I want to move this down. Oh, there's nowhere for it to go at the moment. So if I was to put it into the assembler, I think the assembler was pretty much full, and that's why that wasn't working. So let me just see if I can move some of this stuff. Might go, but yeah, we're okay. All right, so now I'm pretty much empty. Everything's been done. I'm in a good place. But we need to go and get something. Now, remember we needed those grills. That was what we were looking for. And we want to be a bit more effective with our farming. And we don't want to farm stone anymore. We're pretty much done. So this video has really been just over 3 hours. I know there's been a little bit of explaining as well. But this is what we've managed to achieve. We landed, and we had... Whoops, we don't want to go down there. We landed, we had our drop pod. We managed to build a base. We managed to convert our drop pod into a ship that is now a mining ship. We managed to have everything here on our base, and we are pretty much set up. We just got a few more things to do for the... In fact, I don't know if I can do another one of these. Let me just quickly check. Maybe I can. Yep, I've got enough to do another one here. So all this is going to do is get us our power quicker. Now, have I got enough to do another one? No, I do not. All right, so I'm definitely missing some materials here to be able to finish this build off. And that means I need to get some more stone and some more bits. And that's fine. I just don't have enough to do that at the moment. But we'll come back and we'll do that in a little while. I don't think I've got enough to... Yeah, I haven't got enough to finish this off. So that's okay. All right, so before I go any further, let me just come to here. I want to heal up. Also, I just want to jump into here and grab this... and remember that this H2O, there we go. So I'm going to need some more ice soon as well. So I need some ice. That's something that I know I need. All this stuff on the floor, I can't really do anything with that at the moment. Oh, actually, no, I can put that in here now. So my oxygen container can go into there. So that's got rid of that. The rest of this stuff can kind of just sit there right now. There's not really much else I can do with it. I can pick up the credits, I suppose, so I can keep the credits. But everything else, I don't need that data pad anymore. I don't need that welder. The rest of the stuff, the gun and all of that, and the scrap is, yeah, not really that important to me. I guess with the scrap, I don't know. Can I... I think I can... Can I put... I thought I could put the scrap in the refinery. Maybe I was wrong. But I'm assuming that won't go... Oh, it will. Okay, so I can put that into there. So the scrap's going to get turned into some stuff as well. So that's good. Nice. And that's going to print some more stuff for us. Not quite enough to do the stuff we need, but it might just be enough to do this. No, we still need some more construction components, so that's fine. Again, we can do all of this a bit later. Oh, I think we just got enough for that, so let's just check. Oh, okay, no, so we're missing some bits. So let's just quickly check in here. Oh, look, we've got loads of construction components, so we don't even need that. That was just, for some reason, I don't know, it was being weird. We've actually got everything we need now to build this one. Sometimes it does get messed up, so we need some more interior plates. Now, I know we've got these, because I've seen them, so let's just grab those steel rods, let's grab those interior plates, grab all of that stuff that we need. Let's just come back up, see if we can get this last one connected. We need some motors and some girders now. That's kind of all we need. So motors and girders. Okay. Now, I do believe we've got some... No, we don't. Production. Wow, look. Loads of stuff there. So girders and motors. And that's it. That's all we need. All right. So I reckon with one more run on this ship, we'll be able to do that. So do you know what? I know this video is just creeping on a little bit too long, but it's okay. Let's do one more run. This is the last time we're going to go down this hole. And then that's it. No more stone. And that's really going to be important for us because we have farmed quite a lot of stone, as you can see. So let's just, we don't even need to go that deep. Let's just, we'll just grab it all from here. There you go. We don't even need to be that deep. It's fine. The main part of this was to try and stay as horizontal as possible because we had the 4 thrusters. So we just allow better movement for us. But yeah, we're pretty much full now. And actually, you can see we're kind of struggling a little bit to move. So we don't want to flip ourselves over. So let's see if we can get out without damaging ourselves. And this is the key. This is the key, is to try and be able to move ourselves, to get ourselves flat, to use those 4 boosters to be able to head up. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to do this. I think we're a little bit too heavy. Nope, we can't do it. We're actually too heavy to move. So, okay, we know we can't move. So, we're going to remove some stone, so we'll just chuck it into there and then get rid of it. Again, it's going to throw it on us, which is a bit annoying. But there we go. Now we're much, much lighter now. Oh. Careful, we don't want to crash. Key is not to crash. These are fragile ships and they will break if you're too quick with them. So take your time. There is no rush. And remember, you can always save the game if you need to. Just in case. Before you're going to go down the hole, just save it. And if you crash, just reload it. There's no... It's a lot better to reload a game and to learn. Because if you spend all of your time rebuilding, you're not really learning anything. So... yeah, don't spend all of your time rebuilding when you don't need to. All right, press number 2 to lock that off. And now everything's going to move across, so that's great. There's a load of stuff in a base dock connector there. We don't want that there really at the moment, so... there's nowhere else to really put anything at the moment, so we're kind of just going to leave that to do its job. This is the bore cargo. We don't want that either, so... no, just... we can get rid of this stuff. So, bore cargo. Let's have a look. Base dock connector. So, let's just move all of this. Put that in the refinery. Put that up there. Okay, so this is all now. Everything's in here. So, everything we need lives in here. This is its home. We keep everything well organized. Okay, it keeps moving these into the dock connector, so... alright, it wants everything to live in a dock connector for some reason, so that's fine. We'll leave that there. I'm not going to argue with it. But the ship is pretty much empty now. And that means that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I need to just double check this. If I was to jump out of my ship... oh. And I've got these connectors, so this battery now should hopefully start to charge. 4 hours now and this battery will be charged, so that's good news. I should be able just remove everything from the build planner because sometimes it just needs resetting. Come up to this last one, right, and we're going to right click so we can see what we need. And that hole's getting pretty big down there. Make sure we don't fall down there. Come up to this and I can just press my middle mouse button. All components were successfully withdrawn, so that means we can build this. And now we have all of our power. That feels like a really good place to end this video. So the last thing we want to build, we don't really have enough to do this. Build plan is now done. We can right click on this. We can click on the middle mouse button here. And now everything we need to build this, except for those 4 metal grids. 4 metal grids is the only thing we're currently missing. So... we need those 4 metal grids. We don't have them. We can set this to put it to production. But the reason we can't make our metal grids is because we need cobalt. And we don't have any cobalt. We are going to, though, just pop over here to this unknown source. Because you never know. It's quite a distance, but... we might actually be lucky enough to get some metal grids. Or some cobalt. You never know. And so in the next video, we're going to go searching for ore. And we're going to see if we can find some ore, find something a little bit better than just stone. We're done now. I don't think we need to farm stone anymore. But everything I've just given you should be more than enough to get out, to get down on the ground, to get a base set up, to convert your ship into a mining ship, and to get yourself to a place where you are sufficient. Now, I'm hoping this thing doesn't fly away from me. It's not one of those. Nope. Let's just find a button on this. Where's the button? There it is. Press the button. Do we get anything? No, we didn't find anything special. What's inside? We got another 2 power kits and some more credits. All right. Well, we're grateful for those. Let's break this down. We're going to get some scrap from it. Sometimes they have thrusters on them. Remember, that one that runs away from us has a thruster that has metal grids on it. Otherwise, it's just pretty much components. We'll grab the light. Grab the armor blocks. Alright, that's enough. We don't need it to be perfect. So, we're going to head back now across the Savannah Desert, wherever it is we are. And that's it for today's video. So, 3.5 hours. I tried to keep it as compact as I could, but I did need to go through everything. There is a rock here, actually, we've just seen. So, we're going to just have a quick look at this rock. Now, remember, we need cobalt. If we get our drill out, it will tell us what's in this rock. It's ice. Well, this isn't actually bad because we need some ice. So let's just drill straight through this rock to the ice. Here's the ice. It's blue. So I'm just going to show you something we can do at this stage. We're going to press I to open up our menu and go to the GPS. We're going to go new from current position and we're going to rename this ice. And that's it. It's showing on the HUD, but it's not always visible. That means we now know where ice is. Right, let's farm some ice. So we're going to fill this up, grabbing as much of this as we can. Now, in the process of doing this, and sometimes it will roll, and you'll have to watch where it goes, but we picked up quite a bit of stone. Not actually that much, to be honest, but we did pick up a bit of stone. So we could just drop the stone and instead pick up a little bit more ice if we want to. And that's... But there's more if we need it. There's actually ice in the middle of there. We can come back if we need to. So rocks like that, always good to keep an eye out to see if you find any of those rocks. They're not always common, but if you find them, then that's great. That's all you need to worry about. It's just if you can find them, then you're... And that was just a happy coincidence. That was what we're going to do in the next video. But as we're on our way back and we passed it, I thought I would show you. So setting up that GPS marker, finding some resources... That's our next mission, is to scout the area in our ship and just find out where are all of the resources? Where is everything? So that's what we're going to do. So now we're back here. We're going to open up our survival and we're going to chuck all of this ice in here. Now, we were down to 176. Now we're at 2,000. So we're absolutely fine for ice. There's no need to worry about ice anymore. We're going to drop these power kits. We just don't need them. We're not worried about that. And everything else that we've got will keep on us. With the exception, just coming over to here. We're going to dump all of this stuff into the base. And it's going to refine everything and do everything. We've got our wind turbines. This battery is now going to be charging. 2 hours until that's fully charged. So that's good. It's got some stored power in it now. So that's really good, knowing that that's working. Everything's working now. Everything's got enough power so we can use the assembler and the refiner all together at the same time. The ship is charged, so that's really good. I kind of feel like we've achieved everything we needed to achieve today. The battery, 17 minutes until that's fully charged. The battery on the base, 2 hours until that's fully charged. Yeah, I think we're in a good place right now. We've got everything we need. Now, these atmospheric thrusters, We don't need to show those, so we're going to not show them here. We're going to hide them. Is there anything else we don't need to worry about at the moment? Yep, these two thrusters as well. We can turn those off for now. Cargo container is fine. We can leave all of that stuff on. Everything else we can kind of keep hold of at the moment. The ore detector, again, we want to put that up to 50 meters because the reason it was back down was because it reset. But we don't need to see it, so we can turn that off. Just leave that off. It's fine. Gyroscope, we kind of don't need to see that. It's fine. We can change the override and the power if it's too much. But right now we can just turn that off as well. So it's there, but it's turned off. The O2H2 generator, well, we are going to leave that on because we're still using that. Everything else here is fine. We can leave that all on. Everything's good. We've got the lights on. That's good. Right. I kind of feel like we've done everything we need to do. Okay. That kind of feels like it concludes everything for now. Everything for now. I feel like we've done everything we needed to do. We've got a decent mining ship that we know works. We've got a base that's got full power, where everything's charging up. So the battery's charging, everything's good. I think we're pretty strong. I think at this stage, I think we're pretty strong. We're charging up. That's got some power going into it now. We're in a good place. So the only thing we need to do now is we just need to finish building this. And that just needs only 4 metal grids. That's it. And that comes from Cobalt. So in our next video, we're going to go on a search to see all of the resources that are around us. We're going to label them with the GPS markers. We're going to find some cobalt and some iron so we don't have to farm stone anymore. We are done with stone. Unless it's an emergency, we are not farming stone. That was it. The purpose of today's video was to get us to the point of using the hand tools to get a ship, to get a base, so that now we don't need stone anymore. All right, and so that is enough for day 1. I feel like we've achieved quite a lot today. I feel like we got a lot done. And this looks like it's going to make a really good video cover. So we'll just use that as our print screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please give it a like. I don't really need a subscribe. If you want to, you can. I do cover a lot of different games. But please, please, please leave a comment. Even if it's just to say thanks. 1, it helps the algorithm. But 2, I'd really like to hear from you. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can just be thanks for the guide, or you're trash, or you could do this better. Here's what I did. Anything, just so that there's a bit of two-way communication, because I like to hear from you. And I could play this game on my own. The whole purpose of me doing these guides is because I like to believe it helps people. Playing games like Farming Simulator, years ago, I still get comments on those videos from people saying, I'm really grateful I found this guide. And I love those comments. That's the real reason I do this. I don't care about the ad revenue. I don't care about anything else. Obviously, I have that turned on because it's a nice little kickback. And sorry you've had to watch the ads, but, you know, again, that's just another thing to help me. But I'm not a full-time content creator. I've got a lot of other jobs that I do, and I do this in my spare time, and I justify my procrastination by making these videos for you. So if you like them, please let me know. I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.